Chapter 3396. 3396, I drew them one. 3396, I drew them one. Feng Wu sighed. She knew what had happened. The blueprints of the fighter jet that she had left for Master Wang had been stolen. Feng Wu looked at Master Wang, who was both angry and flustered. Pointing at the blueprints in Jun Linyuan's hand, he said to Feng Wu, "It must be those." "It must be." Feng Wu asked, "Are you sure?" "Master Wang, the inscriptions and formations in your blueprints are extremely profound. It's not something that others can copy, just because they want to. Previously, I tried to copy them, but I couldn't. My hand couldn't keep up with my brain, so I don't believe Duanmu can do it either." Feng Wu nodded and walked up to the stage. Master Duanmu frowned when he saw this. He had indeed asked someone to steal these drawings from Master Wang. He really didn't expect his junior brother to actually have such astonishing talent and research fighter jets to such an extent in such a short period of time. Master Duanmu naturally wouldn't let Master Wang get stronger like this. This time, he had to beat his junior brother. Standing next to Jun Linyuan, Feng Wu turned to look at the drawings. They really were the blueprints she had drawn. Master Duanmu had just brought them back to her. She almost didn't know what to say. Master Duanmu had asked around and heard that Master Linghu had given Feng Wu the Phoenix pen. Master Duanmu had been on guard since then. He didn't think Feng Wu was very good at inscriptions and formations. After all, she was so young. How good could she be? Master Duanmu was alarmed because he didn't believe it was Feng Wu who had taught Master Wang. The instructions had to have come from Master Linghu. The more Master Duanmu thought about it, the more guarded he became. He couldn't lose his title as Nest No. 1 Inscription Master. Master Duanmu stared at Feng Wu and thought to himself, "It seems that I'll have to suppress both Feng Wu and junior brother Wang." He believed the Crown Prince would side with the No. 1 Inscription Master of Nest instead of a maid. Meanwhile, Feng Wu looked at the drawings in Jun Linyuan's hand and asked, "What do you think of the drawings?" Jun Linyuan nodded. "They're good." Feng Wu's eyes lit up. "Do you think so?" Jun Linyuan said yes. Feng Wu said smugly, "Of course they're good. I drew them." Everyone looked at Feng Wu in shock. Was the Crown Princess made out of her mind? Master Duanmu had been working on this for years. How could she say that she was the one who drew them? Elder Wu frowned. Master Duanmu just presented these blueprints to His Royal Highness. "Miss Feng Wu, please don't overdo it." After saying that, Elder Wu gave Elder Yin a look, hinting for the latter to chime in. However, Elder Yin had been frightened by Feng Wu before, and he was now in a state of panic. He didn't dare provoke this girl. He lowered his head and pretended that he didn't exist, which pissed Elder Wu off. However, Master Duanmu stepped forward himself. He glared at Feng Wu. "I was the one who submitted the blueprints for the fighter jet." Chapter 3397. 3397, I drew them too. 3397, I drew them too. Master Duanmu said, "How dare you say that in front of so many people? It's obvious how arrogant and domineering you are. Your Royal Highness." Master Duanmu cupped his fists at Jun Linyuan and said righteously, "Your Royal Highness, you're our future emperor. This maid of yours has a bad character and ridiculous behavior. She'll tarnish your reputation. I implore you to punish her." With that said, Master Duanmu knelt on the ground and bowed. Ji Ying suddenly had an idea. If the Crown Prince punished Feng Wu, she wouldn't be so arrogant anymore. He would take the chance to comfort her, and she might accept him. At that thought, Ji Ying knelt down as well. "Your Royal Highness, please punish Feng Wu." Seeing that the other people from the military academy were about to kneel down, Elder Dongfang hurriedly said, "What nonsense are you saying? Shut up." Elder Dongfang glared fiercely at the people on her side. Did they all want to die? Didn't they know how protective the Crown Prince was? How dare they ask him to punish her? They would be punished first. What a bunch of idiots. Elder Wu believed he was just as respectable as Elder Dongfang, so he wouldn't listen to Elder Dongfang's advice at all. He knelt down and repeated Master Duanmu's words. Jun Linyuan was really angry now. His eyes were dark and bottomless, as if a boundless storm was brewing. The crown prince stood up, ready to kill, but Feng Wu stopped him. Feng Wu knew very well that Jun Linyuan couldn't hold back his temper at all. He really would kill Master Duanmu with one strike. However, that would make people think he was a violent man who killed people like flies. Feng Wu didn't want Jun Linyuan to bear such a bad reputation when justice was on her side. I'll take care of it, okay? Feng Wu lowered her voice and coaxed the crown prince, who was about to explode. However, Jun Linyuan's expression didn't change. He was about to stand up again. Feng Wu cupped her fists under her chin and blinked. She looked very cute. Please. What was that tone? The crown prince looked at Feng Wu. Feng Wu lowered her voice so that only the two of them could hear her. I'm begging you, okay? If I can't handle it, you can kill Master Duanmu if you want. I won't stop you. The crown prince snorted and said haughtily, Fine. I was only trying to help you. Feng Wu said, It's not that I don't appreciate it. I'm just worried that you'll be accused of murder. Jun Linyuan's cold expression faltered for a moment. Staring at Feng Wu, he seemed expectant. He asked gingerly, Are you worried about me? She really cared about him, huh? Hearing the concern in her voice, the crown prince calmed down in an instant, and he was delighted. That was really ahem. The crown prince gave Feng Wu a stern look. You could do whatever you want. The two of them were whispering together, and they were in the highest position. Did they think everyone was blind? Although the others couldn't hear what they were saying, their demeanor was self-explanatory. When Master Duanmu saw this, he was a little confused. It seemed he had guessed wrong. Chapter 3398. 3398, what a joke. 3398, what a joke. The idea crossed Master Duanmu's mind, but he soon deemed it impossible. He was a dignified, level 9 inscription master, the #1 inscription master in Nest. No other cultivator was as important as he was. The crown prince was a man, and in Master Duanmu's eyes, men should find women as disposable as clothes. The only thing that mattered to a man was a great career. Hence, Master Duanmu despised Feng Wu and thought that he was the best. By then, Feng Wu had turned around and was staring at Master Duanmu. The drawings are pretty good. You're halfway through building a fighter jet. Is there more? Master Duanmu smirked arrogantly, as if he couldn't be bothered to talk to Feng Wu. The crown prince flared up again. However, he remembered his agreement with Feng Wu and frowned at Master Duanmu. Speak. Master Duanmu's heart lurched. Was the crown prince a little upset? Master Duanmu hurriedly said, I've already drawn half of the drawings. They're the result of my hard work over the years. I don't have anything else. Jun Linyuan frowned. Nothing else. Master Duanmu said, No, but I can guarantee that in less than a year, I will give your Royal Highness the other half of the design. The crown prince's eyes darkened. Sensing the coldness in Jun Linyuan's eyes, Master Duanmu shivered and said in a hurry, It won't take that long. 6 months. I'll finish it in 6 months. Jun Linyuan didn't say anything and only smirked. Master Duanmu smiled bitterly. Your Royal Highness, half a year is really tight. We can't work faster than that. The crown prince smirked a little and looked at Feng Wu. What do you think? Feng Wu said, I don't need half a year. I can write the rest of the inscriptions right now. The corner of Master Duanmu's mouth twitched. He had seen people brag, but he had never seen anyone brag like this. How arrogant was this girl? Master Duanmu wasn't the only one who was speechless. Everyone else stared at Feng Wu in shock. How could she brag like this? If His Royal Highness asked her to finish the drawings immediately, would she really be able to do it? As expected, Master Duanmu sneered. Miss Feng Wu, I don't understand what you're saying. Feng Wu said, Master Duanmu, you don't understand what I mean. Master Duanmu said, Does Miss Feng Wu think this design? Feng Wu said, That's right. I was the one who gave Master Wang the drawings. I don't know what you did, but you stole it from Master Wang, and now you're giving it to the Crown Prince. Feng Wu had always been hinting at it, but she didn't make it so explicit at first so that she wouldn't embarrass Master Duanmu right away. But now, Feng Wu was practically accusing Master Duanmu of being a thief. Master Duanmu couldn't take it anymore. He sneered with disdain and mockery on his face. So, you're saying that you drew the blueprints which I gave to the Crown Prince? Feng Wu looked at Master Duanmu in resignation. I've been talking about it for so long, and you've only just figured it out. Master Duanmu burst out laughing. He wasn't the only one who laughed. The people on his side, be it Elder Wu or Elderine, also laughed. This is the funniest joke I've ever heard. Miss Feng Wu, can you not be so unreasonable? Elder Wu looked at Feng Wu and sighed. Chapter 3399. 3399. Who's the traitor? 3399. Who's the traitor? Elder Wu had never seen a girl more proud than Feng Wu. How could she be so ridiculous? Don't you know who Master Duanmu is? How dare you say that? Elder Wu looked at Feng Wu and sighed. He's the best inscription master in Nest. He's second only to Master Linghu in the Junwu Empire. Do you know how many years we've been working on the research of fighter jets? We've been researching it even before you were born. It's only now that we've made a little progress. The drawings in your hand were drawn by our Master Duanmu with all his heart and soul. In the end, you're saying it's your work. Does that mean it's yours? There are inscriptions and numbers all over it. Do you understand? How dare you boast that it's yours? Little girl, this world is much bigger than you think. Your good looks won't work all the time. In our line of work, knowledge is the most important thing. The more Elder Wu spoke, the more serious he became. The surrounding people also nodded. Elder Qing nodded as well. He looked at Feng Wu accusingly. Elder Wu is right. In the field of inscriptions, knowledge is indeed essential. If you understand, you understand. If you don't, you don't. No one can skip a step. Everyone has to learn the knowledge bit by bit from the beginning to the end. No one can steal other people's achievements. Aunt Qing pinched Elder Qing's arm. Elder Qing frowned in pain and looked at her in confusion. Aunt Qing whispered, "You don't know Miss Wu at all. What right do you have to say that? In my opinion, Master Duanmu might have stolen the blueprints from Master Wang." Although Aunt Qing lowered her voice, everyone here was a capable cultivator. How could they not hear her? Master Duanmu turned to stare at Aunt Qing. Aunt Qing didn't back down. "Why are you staring at me? Am I wrong? Before dawn this morning, I saw one of Master Wang's disciples running toward you. He ran into Master Duanmu's room. You can't deny that." To be more precise, she was talking about the time between 3 to 5 in the morning. What was Master Wang's disciple doing in Master Duanmu's room at that hour? "Well," Master Wang exclaimed, "the design of my fighter jet was still there last night. I hugged it in my arms to sleep, but it's gone now. It's been replaced with a pile of waste paper." As he spoke, Master Wang took out the oil paper bag from his pocket and showed it to everyone. Everyone looked at him in confusion. Could it really be? At this moment, Master Duanmu wished he could slap himself to death. Why did he have to provoke Aunt Qing? It wasn't like he didn't know that she had a big mouth and always spoke her mind. Master Duanmu gave Elder Qing a warning glance. Normally, Elder Qing would side with Master Duanmu, but Feng Wu obviously had the Crown Prince's support now. Master Duanmu was protected by his status as a level 9 inscription master, but Elder Qing wasn't. Therefore, Elder Qing lowered his head and pretended not to notice Master Duanmu's gaze. Master Duanmu was furious. Meanwhile, Master Wang rushed to Aunt Qing's side. "Who was it? Which of my disciples entered Duanmu's room?" Chapter 3400. 3400, where's the proof? 3400, where's the proof? Master Wang had a total of 5 disciples. They were Wang Zhiheng, Imo Ziming, Yu Banban, Dong Chun, and Li Chun. At this moment, the 5 disciples looked at each other in disbelief. "There's actually a traitor among us." Master Wang chased after Aunt Qing and asked, "Who was it? Who did you see?" The others were also curious. "Who was it?" Master Duanmu sneered. "There's no such thing. Elder Qing, control your wife." Seeing his warning gaze, Elder Qing couldn't play dumb anymore. He tugged at Aunt Qing and glared at her. Aunt Qing shook off Elder Qing and turned to look at Master Duanmu. I really saw it with my own eyes. I even knew who that person is. I was just curious at first, but since you care so much, Master Duanmu, it means there's really something going on. Master Duanmu was furious. Why did this woman like to ruin his plans? Master Duanmu snickered. Mrs. Qing, you're really doing everything to curry favor with Miss Fengwu. You even fabricated a lie that is easily seen through. Aunt Qing was furious. I'm telling the truth. Master Duanmu asked, where's the evidence? Aunt Qing said, I saw it with my own eyes. Master Duanmu asked, where's the evidence? Aunt Qing was speechless. She really didn't have any evidence. If she did, it would be so satisfying to throw the evidence in Master Duanmu's face. However, she couldn't. She was so angry that her face turned pale. The corners of her mouth trembled, and she grew anxious, but there was nothing she could do. Master Duanmu was very pleased with himself. So what if she saw it? She had no evidence. Fengwu sighed. Immediately, everyone's attention returned to her. Fengwu looked at Master Duanmu and smiled. I see you're very pleased with yourself, Master Duanmu. Master Duanmu placed his hands behind his back and straightened his back. He said proudly, I'm just telling the truth. Fengwu said, what a truth. Master Duanmu sneered. So what if Miss Fengwu was favored by the Crown Prince? He believed he was the only one who could design a fighter jet. Everyone had to respect him. Fengwu stared at Master Duanmu. Master Duanmu, you'll need another 6 months to come up with the rest of the design, won't you? Master Duanmu nodded. Fengwu said, you drew the design yourself, right? Master Duanmu nodded again. The next moment, whoosh, unexpectedly, Fengwu tore up all the design drafts in her hands. Moreover, she threw it into water. Instantly, the words on the paper turned blurry, and the paper turned to paste. Everyone present was shocked. Everything happened too quickly for them to react. By the time they finally reacted, the paper had already been torn apart and turned to paste. No one was more shocked than Master Duanmu. His eyes were bloodshot as he stared at Fengwu, and they almost popped out. He rushed up in a few steps, only to see the blueprints had been destroyed. What are you doing? Do you know what you did? Do you know what you destroyed? That was the design draft of a fighter jet. I studied it for several years. How could you destroy it? How dare you? Chapter 3401 3401 Smartphone Wu 3401 Smartphone Wu Master Duanmu wanted to throttle Fengwu, but how could he? The Crown Prince was there. The Crown Prince waved his hand, and Master Duanmu stumbled backward. Elder Wu and Elder Yin caught Master Duanmu together, but the Crown Prince was so powerful that even the two elders were injured. Elder Yin felt the blood in his chest, and his meridians surge. He almost vomited blood. Elder Wu was slightly weaker than Elder Yin, so he couldn't control himself and spat out a mouthful of blood on the spot. The Crown Prince was still sitting in his high seat, and Fengwu stood there with her hands behind her back, looking down at Master Duanmu with confidence on her face. Master Duanmu felt as if a bucket of cold water had been poured over his head when he met the girl's clear and confident eyes. A chill ran down his spine. Fengwu glanced at Master Duanmu. Why are you so anxious? Master Duanmu stared at Fengwu. Fengwu said, I'm curious. Master Duanmu, why are you so flustered? Didn't you study the design draft for years? So what if I tear the drawings up? You could just draw them again. Fengwu had countless ways to prove Master Duanmu had stolen the drawings. For example, she could say there was a special spice in the paper, and anyone who came into contact with it would behave in a certain way, but she couldn't be bothered. She wanted everyone to see that Master Duanmu couldn't draw it from memory. If Master Wang couldn't transcribe the blueprints, neither could Master Duanmu. Fengwu's confidence stemmed from the fact that the drawings Master Duanmu gave Jun Linyuan were her work, and Master Duanmu didn't transcribe them himself. Therefore, he would never be able to draw them on his own. Only by completely understanding every inscription and formation on it could one transcribe it. Master Duanmu was far from being able to do that. As expected, Master Duanmu was rendered speechless by Feng Wu's words. He gritted his teeth and glared at Feng Wu, but couldn't say a word. Feng Wu grinned at him. Am I wrong? Feng Wu smiled. Master Duanmu, didn't you say you've been working on the inscriptions and formations for so many years? Why can't you draw them again? Master Duanmu glared at Feng Wu. Master Wang almost laughed out loud. How clever! That was so clever. Why didn't he think of this method? If he couldn't transcribe the blueprints himself, Duanmu definitely couldn't either. The only person who could redraw the design was Feng Wu, the original owner. Everyone else looked at Master Duanmu suspiciously. Previously, they firmly believed that the design of the fighter jet was really drawn by Master Duanmu. After all, everyone knew Master Duanmu's attainments in inscriptions. Therefore, Elder Wu turned around and stared at Master Duanmu, signaling him to retort to Feng Wu. What was there to be afraid of? Just draw it. The others also hinted to Master Duanmu with their eyes. Draw it. Why don't you say you're going to draw it? What's so difficult about that? Master Duanmu felt bitter. How was he supposed to draw it? He had indeed seen the blueprints, but there were a few particularly difficult inscriptions that he had yet to master. How could he draw them? However, he believed he was currently the strongest inscription master in the entire Nest Fortress. So no matter what he drew, no one would dare to say he made a mistake. At that thought, Chapter 3402. 3402, I'll leave Jun Lin Yuan 1. 3402, I'll leave Jun Lin Yuan 1. At this thought, Master Duanmu sneered. Who said I don't know how to draw them? As soon as he said that, Master Duanmu regained his confidence. He straightened his back and sneered. I drew these blueprints one by one. Even if you tear them up, I'll draw them again. You, Master Duanmu pointed at Feng Wu with a grim look in his eyes. The design of a fighter jet is so precious that it's a national treasure. How can you break a national treasure? At that, Master Duanmu looked at Jun Linyuan solemnly. Your Royal Highness, no one can predict what this evil woman will do in the future if she dares to destroy the blueprints now. I even suspect she's a spy sent by the Dongseng Kingdom. Elder Dongfang had expected Master Duanmu to attack Feng Wu, but she hadn't expected Master Duanmu to be so stupid as to accuse Feng Wu of being a spy from the Dongseng Kingdom. Anyone in the Jungle Empire could be a spy, but not Feng Wu. She had single-handedly turned the situation around. Sun Castle had suffered heavy losses. General Shui must be fuming right now. Hence, Elder Dongfang quickly stood up and berated Master Duanmu. Shut up. Master Duanmu believed his status wasn't inferior to Elder Dongfang's, so he didn't want to shut up. He wanted to continue talking. Elder Dongfang flew into a rage. There are so many people here. Anyone could be a spy sent by the Dongseng Kingdom, but not Feng Wu. Both the Crown Prince and the Marshal know that. When Master Duanmu saw how angry Elder Dongfang was, he didn't continue. Feng Wu stared at Master Duanmu. Didn't you say it was easy to draw? Go ahead. Master Duanmu said. Who do you think you are? Do you think I'll draw just because you want me to? Crossing her hands behind her back, Feng Wu smiled. Master Duanmu, don't you want me to stay away from the Crown Prince? As long as you can draw the original blueprints, I'll do as you wish. Deal? The look on the Crown Prince's face. Elder Dongfang stole a glance, and her stomach lurched. Master Duanmu sneered. All right. Elder Dongfang looked at Master Duanmu with pity. She had already done what she could, but Master Duanmu insisted on going down that path. So what could she do? Master Duanmu waved his hand. Give me some paper, a writing brush, and some ink. Soon, a short table and prayer mat were placed in front of Master Duanmu. He then sat down. Immediately after, the brush, ink, paper, and inkstone were all set out. The brush was made from top-grade foxhair. The ink was the best pine smoke and musk ink. The paper was snow paper refined dozens of times over. The inkstone had a fine and smooth surface. Standing next to him, Feng Wu took the brush with one hand, held her sleeve out of the way, and dipped the brush in the ink. She then handed the ink brush to Master Duanmu. and smiled at him. "Please." Master Duanmu sneered, grabbed the brush, and began to draw. At first, he drew very quickly since it wasn't difficult. 1 page, 2 pages, 3 pages. Master Duanmu seemed relaxed, and so were the people around him. Elder Wu said to Elder Yin, "Look at how fast Master Duanmu is drawing. It's obvious that Miss Feng Wu is making things up. She's slandering him." After Feng Wu stared at him, Elder Yin didn't dare oppose Feng Wu openly. However, he lowered his voice and nodded. "That's right. I've always believed in Master Duanmu." Chapter 3403. 3403. I'll leave Jun Lin Yuan too. 3403. I'll leave Jun Lin Yuan too. On the other side, Master Wang frowned deeply. Could Duanmu really draw it? That was impossible. Master Wang frowned and stared at Master Duanmu, afraid that the latter would really succeed. Feng Wu, on the other hand, remained calm the entire time. Master Duanmu, indeed, drew very fast at first. It wasn't until the 7th page that he began to slow down. This was because he didn't quite understand the inscriptions that followed. When he got to the 8th page, he felt troubled. Instinctively, he looked up at Jun Lin Yuan. The crown prince, who was sitting high up in his seat, had a grim look on his face and a cold look in his eyes. Master Duanmu wondered who had upset the crown prince so much. Master Duanmu scratched his head guiltily and, somehow, felt it could be him. However, no one present knew inscriptions better than he did. He could draw whatever he wanted. Hence, from the 8th page onward, Master Duanmu began to draw something different from Feng Wu's original draft. When it came to the 9th page, he almost couldn't keep making things up anymore. However, he braced himself and drew all the way to the 15th page. After finishing all the drawings, Master Duanmu was covered in sweat. The blueprints weren't that easy to fake. Master Duanmu put down his brush, blew dry the ink, and handed over the blueprints with both hands. "Your Royal Highness, these are the blueprints for the fighter jet," Master Duanmu said seriously. "The 15 pages contain my hard work from over a decade. Please take a look, Your Royal Highness." Jun Lin Yuan stared at him with a brooding look in his eyes. No one knew what the crown prince was thinking. Feeling guilty, Master Duanmu lowered his head and stole a glance at Jun Lin Yuan. With just that one look, Master Duanmu felt as if his heart had been stabbed. Chapter 3404. Chapter 3404. I'll leave Jun Lin Yuan 3. Chapter 3404. I'll leave Jun Lin Yuan 3. Jun Lin Yuan smirked. "Master Duanmu, how am I supposed to punish you for trying to fool me like this? Should I cut you into pieces?" Jun Lin Yuan's voice was light, and the corners of his lips curled up, but the bloodlust in his voice almost scared Master Duanmu out of his wits. Master Duanmu's legs went weak. However, Master Duanmu lived up to his name. Anyone else would have dropped to their knees at Jun Lin Yuan's words, but Master Duanmu was still standing. He took a deep breath and told himself to calm down. He was the best inscription master in Nest, and the crown prince wouldn't do anything to him. After making up his mind, Master Duanmu finally summoned the courage to look up at Jun Lin Yuan. "Your Royal Highness, what do you mean?" "What do I mean?" Leaning forward, Jun Lin Yuan rested one hand on the table and stared at Master Duanmu with a smile. "You won't admit to your crimes, Master Duanmu. How dare you try to fool me with these things?" Jun Lin Yuan smashed the pile of paper into Master Duanmu's face. Master Duanmu fell to the ground. The temperature seemed to plummet. Everyone stared at the crown prince in horror. Was the crown prince going to lose his temper? Could there really be a problem with Master Duanmu's designs? But that wasn't right. Master Duanmu looked very confident, and he had drawn everything on the spot. Elder Wu and Elder Yin looked at each other and wondered if they should stand up for Master Duanmu. But in the end, they didn't. If it had been Emperor Wu, they would have stood up for Duanmu, because no matter how angry Emperor Wu was, he wouldn't kill anyone. He cared about his reputation. But Jun Linyuan was different. He could kill someone when he was angry. No matter how important a person was, if they offended the crown prince. Master Duanmu's heart trembled, and he gritted his teeth. Seeing that no one was speaking up for him, he finally mustered his courage. Your Royal Highness, you're slandering me for a little maid. That's just what? Jun Linyuan snorted. Master Duanmu said, it's just too cruel. Cruel? Jun Linyuan smirked. He was going to show Master Duanmu what cruelty was. However, before Jun Linyuan could do anything, Feng Wu stepped forward. She looked at Master Duanmu with pity. Master Duanmu, at this point, shouldn't you stop slandering people? You may get away with slandering others, but how dare you slander Jun Linyuan? You're such a piece of work. Master Duanmu said, you're echoing each other and colluding to frame me. I want to go to the capital to lodge a complaint. His Majesty will help me. Either because of Feng Wu or Master Duanmu's accusation, the Crown Prince finally calmed down. Leaning back in his chair, he kept his gaze on Feng Wu. Feng Wu looked at Master Duanmu in resignation. When this is over, if you still have the courage, go to the capital and sue us. No one will stop you. Let's get back to business. Feng Wu picked up the papers that Master Duanmu had drawn. You're right with the first 6 pages, but at your level of inscriptions, you can only reach that far. You've been making mistakes since page 7. Feng Wu took out a red pen and began to draw circles on the designs. Chapter 3405. Chapter 3405. I'll leave Jun Linyuan for. Chapter 3405. I'll leave Jun Linyuan for. It was just like how Feng Wu's calligraphy teacher in her previous life would draw circles on her work. What's she doing? Elder Wu looked at Feng Wu in shock. No one said anything because they couldn't understand what Feng Wu was doing with the pen. Only Master Wang, who knew Feng Wu's inscription skills, could tell what was going on. He pointed at Feng Wu, who kept drawing circles with a red pen, and said in shock, She's not marking the incorrect inscriptions, is she? Marking the inscriptions? That didn't sound convincing at all. Elder Wu glared at Master Wang. Nonsense. What do you mean by that? If Feng Wu can correct Master Duanmu's inscriptions, doesn't that mean she's better at it than Master Duanmu? Master Wang nodded matter-of-factly. Feng Wu is indeed better at inscriptions than Duanmu. Elder Wu sneered and couldn't be bothered to speak to Master Wang. Elder Qing and Aunt Qing didn't believe it either. Only a few people believed that Feng Wu was better at inscriptions than Master Duanmu. Master Duanmu smirked as he watched Feng Wu work. Even if she started learning inscriptions before she was born, it was impossible for her to reach Master Duanmu's level. So, why did she have to pretend to be an expert? If she wanted to humiliate herself, so be it. Master Duanmu was about to mock Feng Wu when Feng Wu smacked the corrected page 7 in Master Duanmu's face. Then, without saying a word, she continued to mark the 8th page. Master Duanmu had to take it when Jun Linyuan threw the drawings in his face, but he couldn't stand it when a maid did the same thing. Master Duanmu was about to scold her when Feng Wu said coldly without looking up, "Take a look at your mistakes." What a cold and aloof statement. She sounded like a senior lecturing a junior. Elder Wu and the others were furious. Why was the girl so arrogant? Master Duanmu was a level 9 inscription master, the best in Nest Fortress. However, when the number 1 inscription master of Nest looked down at the design on the 7th page, he frowned when he saw the errors that Feng Wu had circled. There were all the places that he wasn't sure of. He wondered if she could really be better than him. He then burst out laughing. Who was he kidding? She was just a young maid. But the errors. It must be a coincidence, thought Master Duanmu. Maybe she saw the drawings earlier and remembered the inscriptions. Just as Master Duanmu was desperately trying to convince himself, the 8th page smashed into his face. Master Duanmu grabbed the paper and looked at it. With just one look, he frowned. Feng Wu had circled 13 places on this page. Coincidentally, he had made up all those 13 spots because he didn't know what the original inscriptions were. None of the inscriptions he was confident in were circled. Well, could that still be a coincidence? Master Duanmu was more than a little worried. Page 9, page 10, page 11. Towards the end, more and more circles appeared on the pages. On the 15th page, the entire paper was filled with red circles. After the marking, Feng Wu smiled at Master Duanmu. Master Duanmu, what do you think these red circles are? Master Duanmu's face flushed. He really didn't want to admit it. Chapter 3406. Chapter 3406. What is there to say? Chapter 3406. What is there to say? How could Master Duanmu not know what these circles meant? These inscriptions circled in red were the ones he had made up. They were all wrong inscriptions. He had thought Feng Wu wouldn't be able to tell, and neither would the Crown Prince. After all, he was the best at inscriptions, but to his surprise, Feng Wu didn't miss a single mistake. She had found all of them. Was she even human? However, Master Duanmu still wouldn't admit it. If he did, the others would know he had been lying. Master Duanmu gritted his teeth and sneered. Who knows what those circles are? Feng Wu was amused by Master Duanmu's words. Aren't you going to admit it? Master Duanmu pretended to be calm. Admit what? Feng Wu said. It seems you won't be convinced until I show you the real evidence. After that, Feng Wu took out a pile of paper from her pocket. Master Duanmu's eyes widened when he saw the stack of paper in Feng Wu's hands. That was because he recognized it at once. It was the designs that Feng Wu had torn up earlier. They were the drawings that he had stolen from Master Wang. Staring at Feng Wu, Master Duanmu rushed forward to take back the drawings. Feng Wu turned around and hid behind Jun Linyuan. Master Duanmu couldn't reach her. Master Duanmu was extremely anxious. Return the blueprints to me. Feng Wu smiled. Return them? Are they yours? Why should I give them to you? Master Duanmu's face was livid. Feng Wu waved at Master Wang. Master Wang, take a look at these designs. Master Wang's eyes lit up when he saw the drawings in Feng Wu's hand. That's it. That's it. Master Wang was pleasantly surprised. Miss Feng Wu, so you didn't tear the drawings up? Feng Wu smiled. Of course. I'm not stupid. Why would I tear them up? They're evidence. No one here was stupid. At this point, they all saw what was going on. Feng Wu had set a trap for Master Duanmu from the beginning. She pretended to tear up the drawings, but in fact, she had torn up something else. However, she had given Master Duanmu the impression that the designs were gone. Because of that, Master Duanmu made things up when he clearly didn't know what he was doing. Of course, this was what most people thought. The people from the military academy, led by Elder Wu, were still putting up a final struggle. Frowning, Elder Wu stepped forward and said, Miss Feng Wu, aren't you taking it for granted? How can Master Duanmu be such a person? Do you know what a crime it is to slander a level 9 inscription master? Feng Wu couldn't be bothered to argue with him. She said directly, Master Wang, Elder Wu, please check these 2 drafts. Master Duanmu said he drew both of them. I'd like to see if you can say that again after reading them. 2 blueprints were placed in front of Master Wang and Master Wu. After Master Wang flipped through them, he smiled bitterly and shook his head. He stood at the side and waited for Elder Wu to finish reading. Elder Wu looked at the second blueprint and frowned. When he flipped through all the pages, he understood what happened better than anyone else. The 2 blueprints were drawn by the same person. He had to be blind and stupid to reach that conclusion. Chapter 3407. Chapter 3407. I can make fighter jets. Master Wang looked at him with a smile. What do you think, Elder Wu? Elder Wu frowned and gritted his teeth, but he didn't say anything. Master Wang smiled and urged, Elder Wu, say something. Be honest and tell me, were these 2 designs drawn by Master Duanmu? Master Wang asked again when Elder Wu remained silent. Elder Wu still didn't say anything, so Master Wang asked again. Elder Wu had never known that Master Wang, who had always been silent and only cared about inscriptions, could be so aggressive. He knew that even if he didn't answer Master Wang, he would have to answer Feng Wu and the Crown Prince. Elder Wu turned around and gave Master Duanmu a meaningful look. At this moment, Master Duanmu had already fallen to the ground after seeing the evidence. Elder Wu heaved a long sigh and finally said, "This second design draft was indeed done by Master Duanmu. He drew it in front of all of us, so it can't have been faked." As for the first one, this first design draft, Elder Wu pondered for a long time and finally said, "It's very different from the second one." Elder Wu wasn't the only one Feng Wu showed the drawings to. She let everyone present see them. Master Duanmu knew he was facing a hopeless situation. Was he going to admit his defeat? No. Master Duanmu was a tenacious person. How could he allow himself to lose to a little maid? "I can make a fighter jet right now." Master Duanmu stepped forward and stared at Jun Linyuan solemnly. He enunciated each word clearly. "Crown Prince, I can make a fighter jet right now." "What?" When Master Duanmu said this, everyone looked at him in shock. Elder Wu was even more excited. "Master Duanmu, is that true? You can create a fighter jet now? A fighter jet that can fly in the sky?" Master Duanmu said with a serious expression, "Yes, a fighter jet that can fly in the sky." Elder Wu was overjoyed. The process didn't matter. The most important thing was the outcome. If Master Duanmu could build a fighter jet now, who would care about the original blueprint? Master Duanmu was obviously thinking the same thing. He said to Jun Linyuan, "Your Royal Highness, please give me 4 hours. I'll assemble our first fighter jet right away." Jun Linyuan gave Master Duanmu a strange look and said bluntly, "You can't even draw the blueprint, let alone build a fighter jet." Master Duanmu's face turned red. His disciple, Ji Ying, quickly stepped forward. "Your Royal Highness, my master is telling the truth. He's lacking in the design aspect, but he's always been better when it comes to real action. Your Royal Highness, please give Master a chance." Ji Ying and Master Duanmu were bound together, so he had no choice but to plead for Master Duanmu. Elder Wu and Elder Ying naturally didn't want Master Duanmu to lose, because it meant that the military academy had lost. Therefore, they all stood up and asked Jun Linyuan to give Master Duanmu a chance. Elder Wu said, "Your Royal Highness, fighter jets are a national treasure. If the Junwu Empire had its own flying fighter jets, it would be a glorious thing. We wouldn't have to be afraid of the Dongseng Kingdom. We can't let go of any chance, even the slightest possibility." Chapter 3408. Chapter 3408. I'll show you. Elder Wu knelt on the ground and kowtowed. He banged his head hard on the ground. Soon, his forehead was bleeding and blood splattered everywhere. The stone slab in front of him was covered in blood. Wasn't this too exaggerated? However, Feng Wu knew Elder Wu was trying his best to protect the military academy. He was on the same side as Master Duanmu. If Master Duanmu lost miserably, that meant Elder Wu would also fail. Therefore, he had to protect Master Duanmu with all his might. Feng Wu shook her head. It seemed that Elder Wu still wouldn't give up. "All right then, Master Duanmu, please make the first self-developed fighter jet in the Junwu Empire." Feng Wu put her hands behind her back and smiled. At that moment, Feng Sun and Xian Yi found their way in. However, in order not to disturb anyone, they stayed at the back of Master Wang's team. Apart from Ji Ying, Master Duanmu also had other disciples and servants. Ji Ying quickly ran back and returned with the set of things from their studio. There were many components in a fighter jet. The other components are easy to make, but the inscription propeller was the most difficult part. It was a problem that the Junwu Empire had never been able to solve. When Master Duanmu saw the exquisitely wrapped wooden box, he looked ecstatic. The inscription propeller. This was the inscription propeller that could turn things around in the end. Master Duanmu gave Feng Wu a smug look, but Feng Wu only smiled at him. Elder Yin lowered his head involuntarily, not daring to look Feng Wu in the eye. He had a feeling that Feng Wu already knew something. However, he would never admit it. Elder Yin secretly made up his mind. Seeing that Feng Wu wouldn't look at him, Master Duanmu thought she was scared. He became even more pleased with himself. "Your Royal Highness, this is the inscription propeller that I developed." Master Duanmu opened the wooden box that was half the height of a man and revealed an entire inscription propeller. Because the Dongsang Kingdom's inscription propellers had a self-destruct program, even if the Junwu Empire managed to get one, it was very difficult for everyone to see a usable inscription propeller. Staring at Master Duanmu, Jun Linyuan didn't say anything. Master Duanmu knew the Crown Prince had always been aloof, so he said, "As long as the problem with the inscription propeller is solved, all other problems will be solved." Feng Wu smiled. "Is that so? Master Duanmu, are you saying you solved the problem of the inscription propeller?" Ji Ying glared at Feng Wu. "Didn't my master tell you he was the one who made the inscription propeller?" Feng Wu didn't even look at Ji Ying. She only looked into Master Duanmu's eyes. "Is what your disciple said true? Is this really an inscription propeller you made yourself, Master Duanmu?" Master Duanmu wanted to change the subject, but Feng Wu wouldn't let go of it, which frustrated him. In any case, there was only one inscription propeller. Feng Wu wouldn't be able to find another one that looks exactly the same. At that thought, Master Duanmu nodded. He darted an arrogant look at Feng Wu. "What? Miss Feng Wu doesn't believe." Feng Wu couldn't help but laugh. "This is an inscription propeller taken from a fighter jet of the Dongsang Kingdom, and Master Duanmu said that he made it himself. Since when did Master Duanmu become so close to the Dongsang Kingdom?" Chapter 3409. Chapter 3409, Test Flight. Master Duanmu was stumped by Feng Wu's words. Why was this girl so annoying? Wait, kill her to shut up. Master Duanmu threw a dirk look at Feng Wu. "I made this himself. How can it be from a fighter jet from the Dongsang Kingdom?" "Young lady, envy won't help you. The most important thing is to study. You're still so young, and you're already resorting to such unorthodox methods. What are you going to do in the future?" After giving Feng Wu a contemptuous look, Master Duanmu said to Jun Linyuan, "Your Royal Highness, I drew the inscriptions on the propeller with my penknife. They're sacred and can't be demeaned." In other words, he was asking Jun Linyuan to discipline his maid. Feng Wu smiled. "But why do the inscriptions on the propeller look so similar to the ones from Dongsang?" Master Duanmu scolded angrily. "Have you seen a Dongsang inscription propeller? Don't spout nonsense." Feng Wu said, "I have." Master Duanmu said, "Just because you said so? Show me the evidence." Feng Wu said, "I do have evidence." Master Duanmu was about to say something else when Feng Wu said in a serious tone, "The inscription propeller really came from the Dongsang Kingdom?" "Master Duanmu, are you sure you're not colluding with the Dongsang Kingdom?" Master Duanmu said, "I swear this inscription propeller doesn't look like the Dongsang Kingdoms at all. It has nothing to do with them. Do you dare to make the same oath?" Master Duanmu was really irritated by Feng Wu's aggressiveness. Feng Wu remained calm in the face of Master Duanmu's irascible temper. She grinned. "Master Duanmu, don't get so worked up. If it's yours, it's yours. If it's not, it's not. What's the rush?" Master Duanmu snorted. He would attack Feng Wu when he was done assembling the fighter jet and flew it into the sky. If he didn't kill the girl, then he wouldn't call himself Duanmu anymore. Master Duanmu hated Feng Wu to the core. He started assembling with a serious expression. Soon, the fighter jet was assembled. From the outside, this was a complete fighter jet, no different from the ones in the Dongsang Kingdom. Everyone looked at Master Duanmu with complicated expressions. Could Master Duanmu really create the first fighter jet? If he really succeeded, he would be remembered forever. Why was Master Duanmu so confident? It was because he had assembled a fighter jet before and had really flown it. However, he had been hiding this matter because he had yet to understand the inscription propeller and couldn't replicate a second one. But now that it was a matter of life and death, he couldn't care less. After assembling it, Master Duanmu took a few steps back and said to everyone, "We can only fly outside. This place is too narrow." Everyone looked at the Crown Prince, waiting for his decision. Jun Linyuan, however, kept his eyes on Feng Wu. He had been a bystander the entire time. Feng Wu smiled. "Let's go outside and see if it can fly." If Master Duanmu sneered in his head. You'll be so scared. Master Duanmu wanted to humiliate Feng Wu, so he led the way. After arriving at the open space outside, he told Ji Ying, get in there. Master Duanmu wasn't the pilot. Ji Ying was. In fact, it was Ji Ying who flew the jet last time. The master and disciple had secretly tested it in a remote valley in the West Mountain. Everything had been perfect. Chapter 34:10. Chapter 34:10. Are you making fun of me? What? The master and disciple looked at each other. Ji Ying took a deep breath and said to Master Duanmu, Master, please leave everything to me. I won't disappoint you. With that, Ji Ying sat in the flight cabin. With a bang, the fighter jet's door closed. Everything was ready, and it was time to take off. Everyone's attention was on Ji Ying. If Ji Ying could take off, it would be an iconic victory for the entire Junwu Empire. There was still blood on Elder Wu's head. He glanced at Master Duanmu angrily. You actually hid this from us. Why didn't you say anything earlier? Master Duanmu looked at the blood on Elder Wu's forehead and felt a little guilty. I really didn't dare to reveal it earlier because I haven't developed a method to mass-produce inscription propellers. Elder Wu, please forgive me. Elder Wu snorted. However, he was still proud of the achievement. If Master Duanmu succeeded, then the military academy would be superior to Imperial College. From then on, Imperial College wouldn't dare to complain anymore and would stay in second place forever. Are you sure about this? Elder Wu lowered his voice and asked Master Duanmu. Master Duanmu was unprecedentedly confident. Of course, Ji Ying and I experimented before. Elder Wu was even more delighted. He stroked his beard and nodded with a smile. That's good. That's good. Meanwhile, Feng Sun snuck up behind Feng Wu and patted her on the back. Xiao Wu. Feng Wu turned around and was surprised to see Feng Sun and Xianyi. What are you doing here? When did you arrive? Feng Sun said, We've been here for a while and heard what Master Duanmu said. Before Feng Wu could say anything, Feng Sun frowned. I don't understand. How can you let them test their fighter jet? Feng was confused. Why not? Feng Sun said, I think I know what's going on. The inscription propeller in Master Duanmu's hand is from the fighter jet that Mu Yan gave you before, right? Feng Wu smiled mysteriously. Feng Sun said, Don't laugh. Tell me now. Feng Wu said, Maybe. Feng Sun rolled his eyes at Feng Wu. What do you mean, maybe? I know I'm right. I just don't understand. How can you let him do a flight test? What if they can fly it? Feng Wu shook her head. They can't. Feng Sun looked at Feng Wu in confusion. How can you be so sure? Crossing her hands behind her back, Feng Wu smiled confidently. I just am. Feng Sun wanted to ask Feng Wu more questions, but he couldn't get anything out of her. Meanwhile, everyone was looking at Ji Ying in confusion. Wasn't the fighter jet supposed to take off? How long had it been? Why couldn't it fly? What's going on? It can't fly, but didn't Master Duanmu say confidently that it can definitely fly? Instantly, almost everyone turned to look at Master Duanmu. Meanwhile, Master Duanmu was glaring at Ji Ying with a frown. What was going on? Why wasn't the fighter jet taking off? In the cabin, Ji Ying was also dumbfounded. What the hell? The last time they tested it, the fighter jet could take off. Although it had only circled in the sky 3 times, it could still fly. Ji Ying panicked and pressed buttons randomly. However, no matter how hard he tried, the fighter jet just wouldn't take off. What's going on? The Crown Prince stared at Master Duanmu with a dark face. Are you making fun of me? Chapter 34:11. Chapter 34:11. Are you making fun of me? 2. Master Duanmu wasn't afraid of anything except the Crown Prince's dark expression. He couldn't stand still anymore and quickly walked toward the fighter jet. Thump, thump, thump. Master Duanmu banged on the door. The cabin door opened. Master Duanmu shouted at Ji Ying, Why isn't it flying? Ji Ying looked like he was about to cry and was a little flustered. Master, I can't make it fly. Master Duanmu's expression was very ugly. Why? Didn't you fly it last time? Just do what you did last time. Jiying looked even more bitter. I've already followed the previous procedure, but it still won't take off. Master, is there something wrong with the inscription propeller? Master Duanmu dragged Jiying out and entered the cabin. However, no matter how he fiddled with it, the fighter jet still showed no signs of activating. It was as if this fighter jet was a big toy that was purely for show. Master Duanmu's face turned as black as the bottom of a pot. At that moment, there was already a lot of discussion outside. Master Wang naturally wouldn't let go of this opportunity. He smiled at Master Duanmu. Eldest senior brother, didn't you say you could fly the jet? What's wrong now? Can't you do it? Master Duanmu glared at Master Wang. His junior brother had always been quiet. Since when had he learned how to mock others? It was all Feng Wu's fault. Master Duanmu gave Feng Wu another dirty look and went back to examining the fighter jet. He was so anxious that his forehead was covered in sweat. He had already lost several battles in a row. If the fighter jet failed, it would prove that everything he had said was a lie. How would he explain it to everyone? Time passed slowly, but Master Duanmu still had no clue. Feng Wu smiled at Master Duanmu. Master Duanmu, don't you think you're wasting our time? When will it be ready? It'll be ready soon. Master Duanmu gave Feng Wu a dirty look. But another 2 hours passed after that. Even the others couldn't wait any longer, let alone Jun Linyuan. Master Duanmu was still fiddling with the fighter jet. In the end, he removed the inscription propeller and tried to study the inscriptions on it. However, they were too difficult for him. The inscriptions contained endless changes, and Master Duanmu could never understand them all. The Crown Prince stared at Master Duanmu. So, how long are you going to waste my time making up stories? Master Duanmu's heart lurched. He had a bad feeling. Jun Linyuan said to Elder Dongfang, take him down. Master Duanmu was really anxious. Your Royal Highness, just give me a little more time. I've really developed a fighter jet, Your Royal Highness. Feng Wu smirked. At first, you showed us your blueprints and said you'd be able to build a fighter jet in a year. Then, you said that you'd be able to build one in half a year. After that, you said you had already built one. You've been making things up all along. Master Duanmu glared at Feng Wu. I'm not. Feng Wu said, you're full of lies. You still refuse to admit your inscription propeller came from a fighter jet of the Dongsang Kingdom. Master Duanmu, I carved the inscriptions on the propeller stroke by stroke. How can it be from the Dongsang Kingdom? However, before Master Duanmu could say anything else, Feng Wu waved her hand, and an inscription propeller identical to the one in Master Duanmu's hand appeared in front of everyone. Chapter 34:12. Chapter 34:12. Are you making fun of me? 3. Be it the appearance or color or the details of every inscription, the two propellers were identical in every way. Master Duanmu was dumbfounded. He looked up and glared at Feng Wu. Feng Wu smirked at him. Master Duanmu, do you recognize what this is? If you don't, I can explain it to you. This is an inscription propeller taken from the first-generation fighter jet of the Dongsang Kingdom. The general, the Crown Prince, Mr. Su, and even Elder Dongfang can prove it. Master Duanmu's expression instantly turned ugly. Feng Wu pointed at the inscription propeller in Master Duanmu's hand. Everyone, you can compare the two. Let's see if the inscription propeller in Master Duanmu's hand is exactly the same as the one I took out. Hearing Feng Wu's words, everyone grew suspicious. A moment ago, Master Duanmu said he had drawn the inscription propeller all by himself. Everyone had believed him, but now, almost everyone went forward to take a look. Master Duanmu subconsciously held the inscription propeller in his arms, not letting anyone see it. However, Elder Dongfang dragged him over and tied him up with a rope. That was under the Crown Prince's order. Elder Wu was dumbfounded. There indeed, Master Wang wasn't as polite. They're exactly the same. Master Wang looked at Feng Wu in surprise. Mississippi Feng Wu, where did you get the inscription propeller of the Dongsang Kingdom? We have to study it now. or the self-destruct program will activate. Feng Wu smiled. Master Wang, don't worry. Dongseng won't be able to activate it. Master Wang asked why. Feng Wu smiled. Is it because Master Duanmu's inscription propeller won't self-destruct that you think he made it himself? Everyone nodded. That was indeed the case. Feng Wu darted a look at Master Duanmu. Master Duanmu, aren't you going to tell me the truth now? At this point, Master Duanmu lowered his head and remained silent. Feng Wu stared at him. If I tell everyone what happened, Master Duanmu, you'll be punished even more severely. Master Duanmu looked up at Feng Wu and gritted his teeth. I'm a level 9 inscription master. Even if I'm lying, I'm still a level 9 inscription master. Feng Wu smiled at him. Master Duanmu jumped to his feet and looked around. In the end, he strode over to Jun Linyuan and dropped to one knee. Your Royal Highness, I have something to say. Jun Linyuan glanced at him and didn't say anything. Master Duanmu gritted his teeth and said, Your maid is right. The blueprints were indeed obtained from Junior Brother Wang, and not drawn by me. Wow! Instantly, everyone's eyes fell on Master Duanmu. He admitted it. A level 9 inscription master actually admitted that he bribed someone to steal the designs from his junior brother. Master Wang stared at Master Duanmu. Who stole the design blueprints of the fighter jet from my arms while I was sleeping? Master Duanmu didn't want to tell him. If he revealed that person, who would still work for him in the future? However, Master Wang rushed forward and grabbed Master Duanmu's collar. He asked angrily, Who was it? Feng Wu smiled at Master Duanmu. Master Duanmu met Feng Wu's gaze and then looked at the crown prince. His heart ached. Chapter 34:13. Chapter 34:13. Are you making fun of me? 4. It seemed the crown prince was going to favor his maid. Master Duanmu didn't expect that he, a dignified level 9 inscription master, would actually lose to a nobody. It was incredible. He was extremely indignant, but in the end, he gritted his teeth and said it was Wang Zhiheng. What? Instantly, everyone looked behind Master Wang. Wang Zhiheng. Wasn't he Master Wang's eldest disciple? He was also the eldest disciple to whom Master Wang was about to pass on his knowledge. Master Wang was shocked. His first reaction was disbelief. Impossible. You're talking nonsense. Master Wang was furious and punched Master Duanmu's nose. However, Master Duanmu laughed. Junior Brother Wang, all these years, have you ever defeated me in anything? Did you really think I liked her junior sister? No. I saw you liked her, so I had to snatch her away. Master Duanmu was so furious that he was about to lose his mind, so he didn't stop attacking Master Wang. If I really liked her, why wouldn't I treat her well? I deliberately took away the love of your life. I'll take away everything you ever wanted. A ferocious expression appeared on Master Duanmu's face. This eldest disciple of yours is the one who value the most. Therefore I want to snatch him away and let you taste the betrayal of the world again. Ha ha! A look of madness appeared on Master Duanmu's face. Feng Wu looked at Master Duanmu calmly. Actually, Master Duanmu wouldn't be acting so crazy if she hadn't drugged him. She had secretly sprinkled some truth serum on him. Master Duanmu was too despicable. Master Wang had suffered most of his life under his oppression. Now that she had such a good opportunity, Feng Wu used a little trick to uncover Master Duanmu's past. He wasn't as innocent as he claimed. In his anger, Master Duanmu revealed his true self. Master Wang was furious and punched him in the face. Why? What have I ever done to you? Why do you want to take away everything I have? Master Wang was so angry that his eyes were bloodshot and his entire body shook. This honest man had suffered for most of his life. Master Duanmu laughed out loud. Why? You ask me why? Master treated you better than he treated me. Back then, Master told me directly that you were the one who would inherit his title. Tell me, how could I take that line down? Look, I've achieved much more in inscriptions over the years. Master was clearly blind. Feng Wu looked at Master Duanmu indifferently. Isn't your fast improvement the result of your second wife? How did you know? Master Duanmu turned around and glared at Feng Wu. Who told you? How did you know? Only she and I know about this. Did she tell you? For a moment, everyone looked at Feng Wu in surprise. What was going on? Even Aunt Qing was stunned. She remembered she had told Feng Wu about the gossip not long ago, but now, Feng Wu seemed to know more than she did. How amazing! Feng Wu smiled. She told me, of course. She even told me she was from the Dongsang Kingdom. What? Everyone was shocked again. Master Duanmu's second wife was actually from the Dongsang Kingdom. What kind of shocking case was this? Chapter 34:14. Chapter 34:14. The Truth. What kind of shocking case was this? Everyone looked at Master Duanmu in shock. Even Master Duanmu himself was shocked. He had only found out later that his wife was from the Dongsang Kingdom. At first, he really didn't know. You? Who are you? Master Duanmu gritted his teeth, his eyes filled with anger. Feng Wu didn't answer Master Duanmu. She took a step forward, her hands still behind her back, and said with a cold and confident smile, Master Duanmu's wife isn't only from the Dongsang Kingdom. She's also from a noble family there. Correct? Master Duanmu stared at Feng Wu in horror. Although Feng Wu had humiliated him time and time again, Master Duanmu had only been angry, not scared. Feng Wu took a step forward. Your wife also taught you Dongsang inscriptions, right? Master Duanmu denied it. No, Feng Wu smiled. Not only is your wife from Dongsang, but your disciple. Feng Wu pointed at Ji Ying. He's from Dongsang too, isn't he? No, Master Duanmu said firmly and confidently, because he really didn't think Ji Ying was from the Dongsang Kingdom. However, as soon as Feng Wu said that, Feng Sun and Xian Yi dashed forward and grabbed Ji Ying. What are you doing? What do you want? Ji Ying struggled anxiously. However, Feng Sun was infuriated. He grabbed Ji Ying and cut his skin open. If the spiritual essence of plants leaked from the wound, that would determine if one was from the Dongsang Kingdom or not. It smells like plants. Excited, Feng Sun reached into Ji Ying's pocket. Let me go, Before Ji Ying could finish, Xian had already pinned his hands behind his back and gagged him with a rag. Feng Sun took out a badge from Ji Ying's pocket and saw that it was a military badge of the Junwu Empire. There seemed to be something else. Feng Sun dug around again and found a wooden box as wide as a finger. It was square and well protected. The surface was polished, and Feng Sun could tell it had been rubbed often. Ji Ying didn't know what to do when Feng Sun found the box. Give it back. Get it back to me. Ji Ying struggled violently, but he was pinned down by Xian Yi and couldn't move at all. Master Duanmu looked at the scene in surprise. What was going on with Ji Ying? Why was he so agitated? What was in the small box? Master Duanmu wasn't the only one who was curious. The others were also puzzled. Could Feng Wu be right? Just then, Feng Sun opened the box. Inside, holy crap, isn't that the military badge of the Dongsang Kingdom? This is a token from the Dongsang Kingdom. Why does Ji Ying have it? Everyone was shocked. Master Duanmu's reaction was the fastest. He rushed forward and slapped Ji Ying on the head, making the latter dizzy. At the same time, Master Duanmu shouted, Who put this thing in your pocket? Speak. Feng Sun smirked at Master Duanmu. Master Duanmu, are you suspecting? Master Duanmu, I wouldn't dare. Feng Sun said. Master Duanmu saw how much Ji Ying valued the box just now. Do you think we're all blind and can't tell that it's important to him? If it wasn't his, why would he be so nervous? Feng Sun's words rendered Master Duanmu speechless. Chapter 34:15. Chapter 34:15. Scold her again. Feng Sun's words rendered Master Duanmu speechless. Just now, Ji Ying indeed looked like he cared a lot about this small wooden box. Even Master Duanmu wouldn't believe that someone had secretly placed it there. Everyone confirmed that Ji Ying really was from the Dongsang Kingdom. At that moment, someone had already gone to find Master Duanmu's wife. That woman ran away. When Aunt Qing went to capture Master Duanmu's wife, she only found escaped. Feng Sun frowned. If she escaped, it meant that there was something wrong with that woman. Master Duanmu's face was ashen. He never expected his celebration event to turn out like this. His disciple was a spy from the Dongsang kingdom, and so was his wife. His capability had been repeatedly denied. At this moment, Mr. Su came over with Elder Dai. Master Duanmu was still trying to explain that he was indeed the one who had made the inscription propeller. Elder Dai had no choice but to confess. I stole the inscription propeller from Feng Wu and gave it to Elder Yin. Elder Yin's face turned red when he heard this. Under everyone's gazes, he panicked. Investigate thoroughly. Jun Linyuan's face darkened. Everything had been revealed. Jun Linyuan left with Feng Wu. Don't you dare run away again. Jun Linyuan glared at Feng Wu when he saw the valley where the black-robed man had found her. Feng was a little frustrated. It was quite humiliating to be scolded in front of so many people. However, Jun Linyuan kept a straight face and stared at Feng Wu. I see you don't agree with me. Feng Wu felt a chill run down her spine. No, I'm not. Feng Wu bit her lower lip with grievances. She had done so well today. She had caught Zhuo Qingluan and exposed several spies in Nest. She had done a great job, but Jun Linyuan only scolded her. Everyone saw how Jun Linyuan lectured the girl with a dark face. Hence, they all pretended there was an urgent matter at home and fled the scene. Soon, Feng Wu and Jun Linyuan were alone in the valley. Jun Linyuan had the same expression on his face, regardless of whether onlookers were there or not. He glanced at her and asked, if not, why are you twisting around? Feng Wu really wasn't happy. Why would he care if she twisted or turned? Why did this man like to control her so much? This wasn't a good sign. Feng Wu raised her head and glared at Jun Linyuan. The crown prince asked, what? Did I accuse you of something you didn't do? Rubbing her hands behind her back, Feng Wu darted a look at Jun Linyuan and said nothing. Jun Linyuan said, you're allowed to tell me. Feng Wu said, if you insist. Crossing his arms, Jun Linyuan grunted. Feng Wu stuck out her chest indignantly. I caught a few spies for you today. Feng Wu counted on her fingers. Zhuo Qingluan, Elder Dai, Elder Yin, Master Duanmu, Lady Duanmu, and Ji Ying. I found a whole team of them. I should be rewarded, shouldn't I? Jun Linyuan didn't make any comment. Feng Wu asked, did I do a good job? Leaning against a tree with his arms crossed, the crown prince gave Feng Wu a sidelong glance and said grumpily, yes. Chapter 34:16. Chapter 34:16, Trial 12. Seeing Jun Linyuan nod, Feng Wu grew more confident. I've done so much for you, but you didn't praise me at all. Instead, you lectured me. Feng Wu sounded even more aggrieved. The crown prince rubbed his temples. Every time he was rational, she would pretend to be obedient. Every time he wanted to talk about his feelings, she wouldn't treat him seriously. How naughty. So, do you know your mistake now? Before he knew it, Jun Linyuan had calmed down a lot, and he looked at Feng Wu indulgently. There was really nothing he could do about this girl. Feng Wu said. She scratched her head and muttered, I don't think I did anything wrong. The crown prince stared at her. Feng Wu felt a little guilty. I guess I shouldn't be out alone at night. The crown prince darted a look at her and turned to leave. His attitude was cold and distant. Feng Wu rubbed her head. That wasn't it. Seeing that Jun Linyuan was leaving, Feng Wu ran after him. She was experienced enough to know that when Jun Linyuan was angry, she had to appease him as soon as possible. Otherwise, the longer she delayed, the angrier he would get, and the more difficult it would be to make him happy later. Feng Wu caught up with Jun Linyuan and asked, what did I do wrong? Should I not have asked you for help? Jun Linyuan stopped abruptly. Feng Wu's head hit Jun Linyuan straight back, and her nose almost went crooked. In pain, Feng Wu rubbed her red nose and looked at the crown prince aggrievedly. Was he happy now? However, Jun Linyuan still strode off. Feng Wu said, hey, Jun Linyuan. However, Jun Linyuan didn't stop. Just then, Feng Wu heard a voice in her head. Ding! Feng Wu's scalp tingled when she heard that sound. It was the fairy's voice. Nothing good happened when the fairy showed up. Of this Feng Wu was sure. As expected, just as Feng Wu stopped and focused, the fairy jumped out happily. Trial 12 of the 12 Trials of Love will begin. Trial 12 of the 12 Trials of Love will begin. Trial 12 of the 12 Trials of Love will begin. Important things should be said 3 times. Dear host, please stop whatever you're doing and make your choice. Make a choice. Feng Wu looked like she had a huge question mark on her head. Did she have a choice this time? That would be great. The fairy was the one who had given out the first 11 trials, and Feng Wu had to complete them within a stipulated time frame. Feng Wu heaved a sigh of relief. It was finally the 12th trial. Once she completed it, her beautiful master would wake up. Feng Wu was thrilled. She remembered something. When I complete the 12 trials of love, my beautiful master will stay awake for a long time, right? You said it before. Under Feng Wu's excited gaze, the fairy didn't dare to avoid the question. She said meekly, "It'll be a lot longer than before. There are additional tasks. Your beautiful master will stay awake for even longer after you finish them." Feng Wu remembered that. Feng Wu remembered everything about her beautiful master. She would never forget them. Chapter 34:17. Chapter 34:17. Passionate Relationship 1. Feng Wu had forgotten she was chasing Jun Linyuan. She didn't care where she was and sat down right away and urged the fairy excitedly. Tell me, what's trial 12? Hurry up." The fairy didn't know what the mission was, and she was as excited as Feng Wu. However, when she opened the mission scroll in her hand and took a look, her expression changed. She stole a glance at Feng Wu out of the corner of her eye as she read. However, because Feng Wu was staring at her, she caught that look. The fairy stiffened and looked away from Feng Wu. Feng Wu panicked. She glared at the fairy. "Hurry up and tell me." Feng Wu had never been as anxious as she was now. The fairy took a deep breath, looked at Feng Wu, and said slowly, "Dear host, please calm down." Feng Wu almost jumped when the fairy said that. "Speak." The fairy was a little taken aback by Feng Wu's outburst. She drew her head back and said meekly, "Then don't be angry." Feng Wu frowned at the fairy. The fairy quickly said, all right, I'll tell you. Trial 12 is... There are 2 options for Trial 12. You just have to choose one of them." The fairy swallowed and looked at Feng Wu seriously. Feng Wu nodded. "All right," the fairy said. "Option 1. You and Jun Linyuan will be strangers, and you'll never see each other again." Feng Wu's breath caught in her throat, and her eyes widened. The fairy nodded solemnly. "Yes, that's the first option. You can see for yourself if you don't believe me." The fairy waved her hand, and a panel appeared in front of Feng Wu. The panel read, "For Trial 12 of the 12 Trials of Love, the candidate can choose one of 2 options. Option 1. Become a stranger to Jun Linyuan and never see him again." Biting her lower lip, Feng Wu looked grim. If it were before, she wouldn't mind treating Jun Linyuan like a stranger. After all, they hadn't been familiar with each other. However, as they got closer, Feng Wu had to admit that Jun Linyuan had drawn her attention, and it wasn't just a little, even though he had a bad temper. To be apart from him, even Feng Wu didn't realize how grim she looked. Feng Wu looked at option 2. She was a little afraid of looking at it now. What if it made her even angrier? But Feng Wu still read it in the end. When she saw the second option, she was dumbfounded. Feng Wu didn't know if she was angry or what, but she just stood there in a daze. Option 2 was to have a passionate relationship with Jun Linyuan. Feng Wu's eyes widened as she stared at the bright red words. What the hell was the system trying to do to her? The first option was to become a stranger to Jun Linyuan, and the second was to have a passionate relationship with him. Did they have to be that extreme? Why wasn't there anything in between? Feng Wu stiffened and looked at the fairy with difficulty. "Are you sure you're not messing with me?" Chapter 34:18. Chapter 34:18. Passionate Relationship 2. The fairy looked at Feng Wu anxiously. Feng Wu said the same thing. Are you really not messing with me? The fairy looked pitiful. She was so scared that tears rolled down her cheeks. I won. Feng Wu took a deep breath. In fact, she knew that the 12 trials of love had nothing to do with the fairy. She was just the person who issued the missions. If Feng Wu ever found out who designed the missions, she would definitely slap them to death. However, when Feng Wu found out who that person was one day, then what should we do now? The fairy was nervous, but she was also curious. Feng Wu rolled her eyes at her. How would she know? She was really troubled. These two options were too extreme, no matter which one she chose. How annoying. Rubbing her head, Feng Wu fell in a deep thought. The fairy shrunk back, not daring to disturb Feng Wu again. She knew she would easily become Feng Wu's target right now. As a matter of fact, she wanted to remind Feng Wu. Alas, she decided not to, in case Feng Wu wanted to slap her. The fairy quickly retreated to a safe distance before running away. The crown prince was also feeling infuriated at that moment. He had been marching forward, but after a while, he realized the girl wasn't following him. Why didn't she follow him? What was she doing? He was already angry, so how could she not follow him? The crown prince was furious. He was really mad. The angry young man immediately stopped walking. He crossed his arms and leaned against a tree, waiting for Feng Wu. He wanted to see when that heartless girl would catch up with him. Time ticked by, but Junlin Yuan didn't see his girl. He frowned more and more. Had he been too harsh on her and made her angry? But if he didn't reprimand her, what if she ran around and put herself in danger again? Therefore, it was reasonable for him to be angry. The crown prince wanted to ignore her. However, he kept glancing back and forth from time to time. She still didn't show up. The crown prince looked worried. Could that girl have gotten lost in the valley? It was so dark. Did she fall? Would wolves get to her? Would she be sitting alone in a corner, hugging her knees and crying? No. Feng Wu's pitiful face filled the crown prince's mind. He had completely forgotten that the girl was a level 6 spiritual king. Unless she met a powerful opponent, she could send a wolf flying with a single punch. Should he go back and look for her? The crown prince thought about it. The girl had been trying to cheer him up lately, so it wouldn't be embarrassing for him to go back and look for her. After making up his mind, Junlin Yuan started to walk back. Not long after, he saw the girl sitting cross-legged under a locust tree. Her eyes were closed, and she seemed to be circulating her energy. As soon as Junlin Yuan saw her, all the worries in his mind dissipated, and all he wanted to do was lecture her. He leaned against another tree and looked quietly at the girl. It wasn't easy for other people to see in the pitch-black night, but for Junlin Yuan, who had good night vision, it wasn't a problem. He saw that the girl's face was red with anger. In the end, he sighed. Chapter 34:19. Chapter 34:19. Option 1 or 2. Was the girl angry at him for scolding her every day? What a temperamental girl. Forget it. Since she had been trying to make him happy all this while, he wouldn't scold her this time. If you run away again, I'll break your leg, the crown prince threatened Feng Wu. However, he wasn't looking at Feng Wu. Instead, he was looking into the distance. Receiving no response, the crown prince snorted again. Let's see if you dare run around again. That was very bold of you. How could you provoke a spiritual overlord? Feng Wu still said nothing. That was because she was still in shock. Were she and Junlin Yuan going to become strangers? Or was she going to have a passionate love relationship with him? Who the hell came up with this mission? It was impossible. Hence, Feng Wu didn't hear what the crown prince said. What are you thinking? The crown prince turned around and saw Feng Wu clutching her head. It didn't seem like she had heard him. He poked her. What? Feng Wu jumped at Junlin Yuan's voice. What are you doing here? Agitated, Feng Wu jumped up. However, she had forgotten she was under the tree, so when she jumped up, her head hit the tree branch above and broke it with a bang. Ugh! Feng Wu's forehead was red and swollen from the tree branch, and she quickly reached for her eyes. The Crown Prince was dumbfounded by Feng Wu's reaction. Feng Wu landed on the ground with a thud. She was such a powerful girl, but she didn't even know how to use her strength when she landed. Her legs hit the ground and sank 3 inches into it. Even the Crown Prince could feel the pain. The Crown Prince noticed that Feng Wu looked as if she had just seen a ghost. Of course, she would look that way. Jun Linyuan. She thought of the 12th trial and then looked at Jun Linyuan. Then she thought about the 12th trial again. Feng Wu was speechless. The Crown Prince frowned at her. Are you dreaming or something? Feng Wu wasn't dreaming. She was just frustrated. She didn't even want to talk to anyone else. So she looked away from Jun Linyuan and walked away. The Crown Prince was perplexed. The Crown Prince was used to Feng Wu's coaxing, and he suddenly panicked when he realized she had stopped trying to please him. Had he treated her too poorly and made her run away? The Crown Prince followed her with a frown. Feng Wu kept walking, neither too fast nor too slow. However, her expression, which used to be lively, was now very stiff, and she was frowning. She really didn't know what to choose now. However, the fairy was still urging her in her mind. Do you choose option 1 or 2? Which one will it be? What are you? Feng Wu glared at her. The little fairy was so frightened that she almost choked. She shrank back and didn't dare to make a sound. Feng Wu heaved a sigh of relief and calmed down a little. She asked the fairy, when do I have to make the choice? Frightened by Feng Wu, the fairy told her honestly, look at the countdown. There are still 48 hours. Sure enough, Feng Wu saw that there was a countdown after the option. That meant she still had 2 days to make her choice. Luckily, she hadn't made a choice right away, and Feng Wu immediately felt better. Chapter 34:20. Chapter 34:20. My daughter. Are you angry? A muffled voice came from behind Feng Wu. It was Jun Linyuan. Feng Wu didn't know if she was angry, but she knew she didn't want to see Jun Linyuan right now. Because the moment she saw him, she felt depressed. Without looking back, Feng Wu said, I'm off. With that, she quickly ran away. Jun Linyuan stood alone in the wind, a storm brewing on his stunning face. Nest Fortress. Lying in bed, Feng Wu tossed and turned all night. Why did she have to make this decision? She didn't know what to do. Feng Wu lay in bed with her eyes open. She tossed and turned in bed for the entire night, unable to fall asleep for a second. Then, she watched the sky light up. Feng Wu got up with the blanket around her, feeling a little drowsy. At that moment, there was a loud knock on the door. Feng Wu frowned. Why was someone disturbing her so early in the morning? Before Feng Wu could ask, Feng Sun's voice came from outside. Xiao Wu. Hurry up. Something bad has happened. Had Nest been conquered? Feng Wu jumped out of bed, put on her exquisite combat boots, and opened the door. Before Feng Wu could see what was happening, Feng Sun dragged her away. Let's go. Feng Wu looked at him in confusion. What's wrong? Feng Sun said in a hurry. Didn't you catch Switching Wan last night? Feng Wu nodded. That's right. Feng Sun asked, you proved Switching Wan was a spy last night, right? Feng Wu said, that's right. Didn't I tell you to lock her up? I was going to interrogate her today. Feng Sun said in a hurry, that's the problem. Switching Wan has been released. What? Feng Wu's eyes widened and she frowned. What do you mean? Feng Sun said, it's what you call an acquittal. Feng Wu said, how is that possible? There's concrete evidence that Zhuo Qingwan is a spy, and she has the special blood of the Dongsang Kingdom in her veins. No one will let her go. And without Jun Linyuan's order, Feng Sun was in a hurry. But it was Boss Jun who ordered the release. Feng Wu asked what? Feng Sun nodded solemnly and looked at Feng Wu. Boss Jun was the one who. Aurelia, TNE release. What the hell was Jun Linyuan doing? Feng Wu pushed Feng Sun away angrily and ran toward Jun Linyuan's yard. She's not in Boss Jun's yard. She's with my father. Feng Sun shouted at Feng Wu as he chased after her. Switching Wan's master is here to pick her up. We might be able to stop them at the general's place. Firmament Palace's old master. Feng Wu frowned even more. The old palace master wasn't a kind person. When Feng Wu arrived at Feng Xiangnan's manor, she saw everyone there. The general, Jun Lin Yuan, Mr. Liu, and Mr. Su. There was also a red-robed woman. She was on the elderly side and was still beautiful, but her facial features were very sharp, as if they had been cut out with a sword. Her cheekbones were prominent, her temples were hollow, and her eyebrows were peaked like swords. She looked very fierce. Meanwhile, Zhuo Qingluan was kowtowing in front of the master of Firmament Palace. Feng Wu pushed the door open, and everyone turned to look at her. Only the crown prince didn't look in her direction. The general waved enthusiastically at Feng Wu. "Xiao Wu, come here." Feng Wu walked over to the general and stood next to him. The general turned to the master of Firmament Palace and said proudly, "See, this is little Feng Wu, the invincible girl whom I told you about. She's my daughter." Chapter 34:21. Chapter 34:21. Humiliate the master of Firmament Palace. 1. The master of Firmament Palace looked at Feng Wu. It was the scrutinizing gaze of a superior. The air seemed to stop moving. Anyone else would have panicked under that stare, but Feng Wu remained calm. She even smiled and allowed the master to examine her. General Feng was extremely proud of his daughter. Hence, he happily showed off to the master of Firmament Palace. "Xiao Wu is extremely talented and has advanced quickly. What's your level now?" The last question was for Feng Wu. Feng Wu smiled. "I'm a level 7 Est Ritual King." General Feng was surprised. "Weren't you only a level 6 Spiritual King yesterday?" Feng Wu smiled bitterly. "I don't know why, but I couldn't sleep last night, so I decided to cultivate. I made a breakthrough before I knew it." General Feng said to the master of Firmament Palace in resignation, "Look at this daughter of mine. I've been suppressing her from making breakthroughs to stop her from making progress too quickly. If her body can't keep up, she'll be in trouble in the future. However, I really can't suppress this girl's breakthroughs. Don't you think this is too troublesome?" General Feng looked extremely distressed, but the master of Firmament Palace didn't look too happy. Did she know Feng Wu? Of course she did. Back then, it was Feng Wu who had caught the master's eye, and she had wanted to take Feng Wu in as her disciple. However, something happened to Feng Wu, and her true phoenix blood was destroyed. She had turned from a genius to a good-for-nothing, which was why the master had chosen another person with true phoenix blood, Zhuo Qingluan. Not many people knew that, but the master wasn't sure if Feng Xiangnan knew it. However, now that Feng Xiangnan was praising Feng Wu in front of her, the master didn't look happy. Zhuo Qingluan was still kneeling on the ground. The master's face darkened, and she didn't want to speak. However, General Feng wouldn't let it go. He sighed in resignation and said to the master, "Master Yun, my little girl doesn't know anything except catching spies. Look, we caught a bunch last night." Feng Wu darted a look at General Feng and winced. "Aren't you supposed to be cold and stoic? Why are you so talkative when you're talking to her?" Master Yin snorted. "General Feng, she's not your daughter, is she?" Feng Xiangnan said, "Of course she is. My wife personally took her in as her goddaughter. She's more like a daughter to me than a real daughter." "Why, Master Yin? Are you not convinced?" Master Yin snorted, and her expression turned even uglier. Feng Xiangnan rubbed his chin and suddenly said, "Why did I hear that back then? Master Yin wanted to recruit my daughter as a disciple, but didn't succeed." Master Yun's face darkened as she stared at Feng Xiangnan. She wanted to throw a tantrum, but Zhuo Qingluan was in his hands. If she wanted to take Zhuo Qingluan away, she really couldn't fall out with Feng Xiangnan now. She took a deep breath and finally suppressed her emotions. She said lightly, "There was no such thing." General Feng asked, "Really? Was I wrong?" Master Yin said coldly, "Yes." General Feng said, "That's good. If Master Yin had wanted to have Feng Wu as your disciple, but in the end chose." General Feng glanced at Zhuo Qingluan, who was kneeling on the ground, and clicked his tongue. "That would have been such a pity, wouldn't it?" Chapter 34:22. Chapter 34:22. Humiliate the Master of Firmament Palace. 2. Master Yin was truly enraged. She glared at General Feng and gritted her teeth. Feng Xiangnan. General Feng gave her a perfectly guileless look. What's wrong? Master Yin was so angry that her face turned pale. What was wrong? What was wrong? General Feng shrugged innocently. I'm serious. If you had really wanted to take my Xiao Wu as your disciple, but didn't do so, you should regret it now. Do you know how powerful my Xiao Wu is? General Feng ignored the ugly look on Master Yun's face and said seriously, Xiao Wu has the divine phoenix blood, not true phoenix blood. She's the only one who has the divine phoenix blood on the continent. Master Yin was about to go mad from anger. Did Feng Xiangnan think that she had passed away in Firmament Palace? How could she not know about the emergence of the divine phoenix blood? The moment she found out, she regretted it so much that she felt like throwing up. The divine phoenix blood meant Feng Wu was destined to be a peerless genius. At that moment, Master Yun wanted to strangle Zhuo Qingwan to death. She wished she could turn back time and choose Feng Wu instead of Zhuo Qingwan. But what could she do? She had already chosen, raised, and taught Zhuo Qingwan. She couldn't change anything now. Master Yin glared at Feng Xiangnan. She didn't want to talk about it, but Feng Xiangnan kept mentioning it. He had to be doing it on purpose. In order not to be provoked by the mention of Feng Wu, Master Yin had stopped asking people to gather information about Feng Wu. In fact, mentioning Feng Wu was taboo in all of Firmament Palace. As a result, she only had information on Feng Wu up to the point when she gained the divine phoenix blood. When General Feng saw Master Yun's frustration, he laughed inwardly. A smug expression appeared on his face. He had learned from his wife's letter how Master Yun had abandoned Xiao Wu, who had lost her true phoenix blood, and that she might have even been involved in destroying Feng Wu's true phoenix blood. It would be strange if General Feng didn't want to make her more frustrated. Feng Xiangnan said with a serious expression, Master Yun is good at medicine. You were already a semi-supreme level medicine refiner in your early years. I wonder what level you are at now. Zhuo Qingwan's expression changed. Only the higher-ups of the Peace Grassland knew that Feng Wu was already a semi-divine medicine refiner. Master Yin didn't know that yet. Zhuo Qingwan was worried that General Feng would embarrass her master, so she took the initiative to say, Master's medical skills are actually. Master Yin glared at Zhuo Qingwan. Who permitted you to speak here? Shut. Zhuo Qingwan was speechless. She really wanted to warn her master, but she couldn't find the right words. Therefore, Zhuo Qingwan could only grit her teeth and kneel on the ground without saying a word. Everyone was sitting down, including Feng Wu. Zhuo Qingwan was the only one kneeling. It was particularly humiliating for her. She felt that everyone was looking at her strangely. Everyone was mocking her and laughing at her. Zhuo Qingwan took a deep breath and swallowed the humiliation. At that moment, Feng Xiangnan still wouldn't get to the point and only exchanged pleasantries with Master Yin. Master Yin, I'm sure you're at the semi-divine level, right? Feng Xiangnan actually knew how to flatter others. Master Yin felt that Feng Xiangnan's attitude had improved. Hence, she softened her attitude and said coldly, I'm almost there. General Feng said, Almost there? How much longer do you need? When will you become a semi-divine medicine refiner? Chapter 34:23. Chapter 34:23. Humiliate the Master of Firmament Palace. 3. Master Yin frowned and glanced at General Feng haughtily. Feng Xiangnan, what's with the look in your eyes? Do you think the semi-divine level is that easy to reach? Think about it. Does the Junwu Empire have a semi-divine medicine refiner? The best nest has as a supreme level medicine refiner. Why are you so arrogant? Feng Xiangnan looked like he wanted to retort, but Master Yin cut him off. Why? Are you still unconvinced? Master Yin sneered. In 1 to 3 years, I can become a semi-divine medicine refiner. At that time, I'll be able to refine semi-divine elixirs. Feng Xiangnan, what your nest fortress lacks the most is healing medicine. Are you sure you don't want to be more polite to me now? The more Master Yun spoke, the more arrogant she became. She had begged Feng Xiangnan to let Zhuo Qingwan go, but now she suddenly felt that she had the upper hand. Who wouldn't want a semi-divine medicine refiner? Feng Xiangnan, why aren't you in a hurry to please me? A future semi-divine medicine refiner? How dare you make things difficult for me? However, Master Yin suddenly realized that everyone was looking at her strangely. General Feng looked at Master Yin strangely and said in a surprised tone, Master Yin, you haven't become a semi-divine medicine refiner yet. Master Yin glared at him. What did Feng Xiangnan mean? Did he really think he could find a semi-divine medicine refiner just anywhere? However, Feng Xiangnan's next sentence was, my Xiao Wu is already a semi-divine medicine refiner, and you're still not? What? Master Yin froze, and her mind went blank. However, she quickly came back to her senses. She decided that Feng Xiangnan was lying to her. Why was he making such a scary joke? Feng Xiangnan, we're talking about urgent matters. Is this the time to joke? Master Yin stared at him with a serious expression. General Feng said, I'm not joking. My Xiao Wu is really. Master Yin interrupted him impatiently. If she's a semi-divine medicine refiner, I can give her the entire Firmament Palace. All right, don't make such really. General Feng nudged Feng Wu. Xiao Wu thanked Master Yin. Feng Wu and General Feng understood each other very well. Hearing Feng Xiangnan's words, Feng Wu immediately bowed deeply. Thank you for your kindness, Master Yin. I'll accept the gift. What the heck? Master Yin glared at Feng Xiangnan angrily. Feng Xiangnan looked puzzled. Master Yin doesn't know? That shouldn't be the case. I don't think the Firmament Palace would miss out on that. Xiao Wu didn't really keep it a secret. Master Yin was astonished. She turned to stare at Zhuo Qingwan. Zhuo Qingwan hated everyone here. However, she was the weakest here, so she could only grit her teeth and say, Master, she's really... The fury in Master Yun's heart was like a raging fire. However, she had a smile. Whether it's true or not, congratulations, General Feng. After that, she immediately changed the topic. I'll leave with Qingwan now. Goodbye. Master Yin wanted to leave, but it wouldn't be that easy. General Feng smiled, but his smile didn't reach his eyes. Master Yin, are you going to take away this spy who colluded with the Dongseng Kingdom just like that? Aren't you afraid that all of Firmament Palace will come under suspicion? Chapter 3424. Chapter 3424. Ruthless Zhuo Jingluan. Master Yin shuddered and felt a chill run down her spine. Feng Xiangnan was so bold. Master Yin didn't speak to Feng Xiangnan. Instead, she looked at Jun Linyuan. What does the Crown Prince think? Immediately, everyone turned to look at Jun Linyuan. As a matter of fact, Jun Linyuan was the most influential person here. No one would dare refuse him since he was the Crown Prince. Leaning back in his chair, Jun Linyuan stared at the ground without any expression. Everyone waited for him to answer. But his face was getting darker and darker. He looked up and stared at Feng Wu. Feng Wu stood next to the general. She knew that Jun Linyuan was looking at her, and she could even guess what he was waiting for. He was waiting for her to beg him. However, Feng Wu wouldn't do it. Why should she? Zhuo Qingwan had been colluding with the Dongseng Kingdom and became their spy in the first place, and the evidence was conclusive. Someone like that deserved to die. Why should Feng Wu beg for Jun Linyuan's help? Feng Wu pursed her lips. She didn't like what was going on. General Feng looked from Jun Linyuan to Feng Wu, then back to Jun Linyuan. He realized the young couple were quarreling. As Feng Wu's father, General Feng sided with her without hesitation. At that moment, Master Yin realized something. She thought Jun Linyuan still had feelings for Zhuo Qingwan. At that thought, Master Yin glared at Zhuo Qingwan, suggesting the latter beg the Crown Prince. Zhuo Qingwan also felt the Crown Prince didn't like Feng Wu that much anymore. That was the best news. Zhuo Qingwan turned to Jun Linyuan on her knees, took a deep breath, and banged her forehead on the ground. The sound was so loud. Everyone was shocked. Zhuo Qingwan's forehead cracked, and blood oozed out. Your Royal Highness, it's all my fault. I shouldn't have given in to the temptation of the Dongseng Kingdom. There was a loud thump. Zhuo Qingwan knocked her head on the ground again. Your Royal Highness, it was all my fault. I shouldn't have been jealous of Feng Wu's cultivation and made such a decision because of her breakthrough speed. There was a loud thump. Zhuo Qingwan knocked her head on the ground again. Blood gushed out. At this moment, there was already a bowl-sized wound on Zhuo Qingwan's forehead, and blood was flowing out. Her face was dyed red, and her clothes were soaked with blood. The ground in front of her was covered in blood as well. Mr. Lu frowned. Zhuo Qingwan was a ruthless person. This way, she would turn herself into a victim and put all the blame on Feng Wu. Those who didn't know the truth would be fooled by her. Mr. Lu looked at Feng Wu involuntarily. He wasn't the only one. Everyone glanced at Feng Wu from time to time. With a thud, Zhuo Qingwan banged her head on the ground again. Her skull was about to shatter. She was dizzy, but she still gritted her teeth and insisted. Your Royal Highness, it's all my fault. I shouldn't have been jealous of Feng Wu for winning your favor. Zhuo Qingwan was still kowtowing. She was covered in blood. How scary. She had to be so ruthless to herself to put up such a show. It was actually not difficult to kill herself by banging her head hard enough to die instantly. But for Zhuo Qingwan to do it again and again, that required a lot of willpower. Chapter 34:25. Chapter 34:25. Your matriarch is still alive. Even General Feng frowned slightly. Zhuo Qingwan was indeed extraordinary. He had underestimated her. His gaze fell on Feng Wu. The girl's lips were pursed. She was obviously sulking. General Feng shifted his gaze from Feng Wu to Jun Linyuan, only to find that Jun Linyuan was expressionless, and his eyes were dark and cold. The young couple was so. General Feng finally looked at Zhuo Qingwan. Zhuo Qingwan had been banging her head so hard that she was about to pass out. But she was still kowtowing. How ruthless. General Feng sighed inwardly again. It wasn't just physical pain, but also mental humiliation. Zhuo Qingwan could actually take it. General Feng released his spiritual senses and noticed that Zhuo Qingwan's spiritual power was growing. That's enough. In the end, it was Master Yin who stopped Zhuo Qingwan. Staring at Zhuo Qingwan, she frowned and finally looked at Jun Linyuan. Your Royal Highness, my disciple has committed such a disgraceful act. She should be executed immediately, but Master Yin hesitated for a moment before saying, however, Zhuo Qingwan is of true phoenix blood. The matriarch has issued a decree that she must be brought back to Firmament Palace. Your Royal Highness, please let her go. Feng Wu frowned and darted a look at Feng Sun, who said that Jun Linyuan had given the order to release Zhuo Qingwan. She had been so angry just now. Judging by what Master Yin said, Jun Linyuan still hadn't agreed yet. Feng Sun scratched his head in embarrassment. He had rushed off to find Xiao Wu when he heard the news, and he forgot who had told him that. At that moment, everyone's attention was on Jun Linyuan. General Feng frowned. Matriarch, Master Yin glanced at General Feng proudly. That's right, our matriarch. General Feng frowned even more. The matriarch of Firmament Palace is still alive. Master Yin glared at the general. Feng Xiangnan, how dare you? General Feng said, why can't I ask that question? After so many years, not many old cultivators from the ancient era are still alive. Who knows if your matriarch is still alive, or if it's an excuse you made up? Master Yin sneered. Why don't you visit Firmament Palace? Feng Xiangnan stroked his chin. The matriarch of Firmament Palace was still alive? That made him wary. Master Yin opened her palm, and a snow-white mist which looked like cotton candy appeared. Immortal substance? Feng Xiangnan's pupils contracted as he stared at the substance in Master Yun's hand. Master Yin sneered. Recognize it? Feng Xiangnan frowned. Is your matriarch really still alive? The immortal substance was used to cultivate the body. Even if one's body was damaged, one would be able to recover quickly after using an immortal substance to repair it. However, only an immortal stage cultivator could nurture the immortal substance. Only those from the ancient god era could create the immortal substance, such as Master Linghu and Chu Tianxiao. In this era, it was basically impossible. Feng Xiaonan looked at Jun Lin Yuan, wondering if he would be able to reach that level in the end. After all, the spiritual essence in nature now couldn't be compared to that of ancient times. Master Yin glanced at General Feng arrogantly. Feng Xiaonan, my matriarch is still alive. Are you scared? Master Yun's strength was on the same level as Feng Xiaonan's. She revered the matriarch, so everyone wondered how powerful the latter was. Chapter 34:26. Chapter 34:26. Jun Lin Yuan's love. Feng Wu frowned a little. Seeing Feng Wu's frown, Jun Lin Yuan felt sorry for her. Did Master Yin think that she could suppress Feng Xiangnan with the help of the matriarch? Staring at Master Yin, Jun Lin Yuan smirked. Just tell your matriarch to come here. Master Yin was pleased to see that Feng Xiangnan was intimidated, but she didn't expect Jun Lin Yuan to make things difficult for her. She was confused. Didn't Zhuo Qingyuan say that Jun Lin Yuan liked her? Even if Jun Lin Yuan had fallen in love with Feng Wu, he would at least care about Zhuo Qingyuan for old time's sake. Master Yin stared at Jun Lin Yuan. Your Royal Highness, the matriarch is too busy cultivating to care about the mundane world. Jun Lin Yuan nodded. Then she can focus on her cultivation. That tone. Master Yin was furious. He was talking about their matriarch, the matriarch of the ancient god era. She's a matriarch from the same era as Lord Mu Jiuzhou. Master Yin stared at Jun Lin Yuan. The crown prince should watch his language. With that, Master Yin was about to leave with Zhuo Qingyuan. Who said you could leave? A beam of light suddenly descended to envelop everyone, including Master Yin. She stared at Jun Lin Yuan in surprise. She hadn't expected him to do something like that. She tried to break the light barrier, but she realized that she couldn't do that with her current ability. In other words, Jun Lin Yuan was stronger than her. How was that even possible? The young man wasn't even 20 years old. How could he have such strength? No wonder he didn't have too much respect for the matriarch. At his current cultivation progress, he would sooner or later reach that stage as well. Master Yin gritted her teeth and stared at Jun Lin Yuan. Your Royal Highness, won't you do something for old time's sake? At the mention of old time sake, Jun Lin Yuan looked at Feng Wu involuntarily. He saw that his girl was frowning and was very unhappy. Jun Lin Yuan was furious. He didn't care about a non-existent past relationship at all, but if his girl was unhappy, he wouldn't be happy either. Are you an idiot? Jun Lin Yuan glared at Feng Wu. Feng Wu asked what was going on. Why was she involved? Wasn't it supposed to be a conversation between big shots? Why was she dragged into it? How did you lose your true phoenix blood back then? Jun Lin Yuan stared at Feng Wu. Feng Wu realized what was going on. Was he telling her to reveal the truth? But that was true. If she didn't say it now, when would she? Master Yun's matriarch. Judging from General Feng's reaction, it was obvious that he felt quite intimidated. The matriarch was probably on the same level as Chu Tianxiao. At that thought, Feng Wu said, Zhuo Qingyuan destroyed my true phoenix. Blood back then. I didn't. Zhuo Qingyuan was still dizzy from the kowtowing, but she managed to stand up with the help of Master Yin. She stared at Feng Wu. I didn't. Don't make things up. Feng Wu smirked. Yes, you did. Zhuo Qingyuan smiled bitterly. You can accuse me of anything, but I'll never admit to anything I haven't done. Feng Wu, you already have so much. You have an advanced cultivation level, a lot of talent, and great connections. You even have the Crown Prince's love. Why are you still making things difficult for you? Dialoi la love Liaoline. Vivin y diu sull esuknll 1G al Luis. I'm not as strong as you now. I'm inferior to you, in everything. I'm no longer a threat to you. Do you want me dead? Feng Wu, how can you be so cruel? Chapter 34:27. Chapter 34:27. Spiritual Fossil Stone 1. Feng Wu, how can you be so cruel? How can you slander me? Zhuo Qingwan shouted at Feng Wu. Feng Wu smirked. Zhuo Qingwan was still looking at Feng Wu with tears in her eyes. Feng Wu, do you really want me dead? As she spoke, Zhuo Qingwan took out a dagger from her sleeve and put the blade on her fair neck. The sharp dagger sliced her skin. Instantly, a bloody mark appeared, and beads of blood oozed out. Right now, Zhuo Qingwan looked so sad, so miserable, so wronged. That's enough. Master Yun hollered angrily. She stared at Feng Wu. Are you really going to kill her? Feng Wu kept a smirk on her face. Instead of answering Master Yun, she stared at Zhuo Qingwan. She wanted to see how thick-skinned Zhuo Qingwan was to say something like that at a time like this. However, under Feng Wu's gaze, Zhuo Qingwan still looked as aggrieved as ever. Feng Wu didn't want to play along with her anymore. Zhuo Qingwan, I used to respect you for being a brave woman. You may be despicable, but at least you have a bottom line. But now, I'm really disappointed. Feng Wu shook her head in disappointment. I can't believe I'm going against someone like you. TSK. Her voice was filled with indescribable disdain. However, Zhuo Qingwan was still acting. She used to be cold and aloof, but now she looked so pitiful. Tears rolled down her cheeks as she sobbed. Feng Wu, I was tricked BV that black-robed man and went astray for a while before I came back to the right path. I admit my mistake, but how can you frame me like this? Back then, you were too greedy, and your spiritual essence went berserk, which destroyed your true phoenix blood. I have my own true phoenix blood. Why would I destroy yours? You're the one the crown prince likes now. You're the prettiest and the most favored. Is there anyone in the world who's luckier than you? I really didn't frame you. Can you stop hurting me? Zhuo Qingwan was about to say something else, but Feng Wu waved her hand. Zhuo Qingwan, you told me yourself that you framed me in that underground mine. Have you really forgotten? Zhuo Qingwan had said it herself, so of course, she remembered. But how long ago had that been? Did Feng Wu have any evidence? Zhuo Qingwan cried. Feng Wu, why are you making this up? The crown prince is biased toward you, and so is the general. They'll take anything you say seriously. If you want me dead, just say the word. Why do you have to put on such a show? Master Yun glared at Feng Wu. I made the right choice by not taking you in as my disciple back then. So what if you're talented? You're so despicable that you're doomed. Qingwan, let's go. Master Yun was about to leave with Zhuo Qingwan. However, Feng Wu smiled at that moment. No one will stop you if you want to leave, Master Yun, but are you sure you don't want to see something first? Before Master Yun could say anything, Feng Wu waved her hand, and a huge water curtain appeared in front of them. Without waiting for anyone to ask, Feng Wu broadcasted what she had recorded with the spiritual fossil stone. She specifically picked out Zhuo Qingwan's section. That conversation contained a lot of information. Zhuo Qingwan looked up and was dumbfounded. How could this be? Chapter 34:28. Chapter 34:28. Spiritual Fossil Stone 2. Chapter 34:28. Spiritual Fossil Stone 2. Zhuo Qingwan looked up and was dumbfounded. How could this be? She was completely stunned. It was indeed a recording of the conversation between her and Feng Wu. She had thought that she and Feng Wu were the only ones there, so she hadn't been polite. What did she say back then? Zhuo Qingwan's mind went blank. She had no idea what to do. Everyone's attention was immediately drawn to the water screen. Zhuo Qingwan admitted that she was the one who had destroyed Feng Wu's true phoenix blood. Everyone stared at Zhuo Qingwan. And you said you didn't do anything? You've admitted it yourself. Zhuo Qingwan didn't know what to say. She really had no idea what was going on. From that angle, the cameraman had to be in the cesspit. There had been someone squatting in that huge cesspit. Zhuo Qingwan wanted to cry. Everyone watched with interest. They even heard Zhuo Qingwan call Master Yun an old witch. Ahem. General Feng covered his mouth and pretended to be embarrassed. Old witch. She's really bold. Even us old fellows don't dare to say it. Master Yun's expression was very ugly. The recording soon came to an end. Feng Wu had only played a small section of the recording, but that was enough. Zhuo Qingwan had fallen to the ground, and everyone was looking at her strangely. At that moment, Zhuo Qingwan could tell that everyone was looking at her with disdain and ridicule. But after the initial shame, she was no longer afraid. Master Yun felt extremely embarrassed. She wanted to leave Zhuo Qingwan behind and get away from this place. Zhuo Qingwan? How dare she call her an old witch behind her back? What was the point of having such a disciple? She was the type that would kill her master in the future. However, it wasn't Master Yun's idea to bring Zhuo Qingwan back, but the matriarchs. General Feng wouldn't let this matter go so easily. He smirked. I didn't know it was you, Zhuo Qingwan, who ruined Xiao Wu's true phoenix blood. Interesting, very interesting. Master Yin stood up and frowned. It was just child's play. Who knows if it's true? Seeing that Master Yun was still defending Zhuo Qingwan, General Feng smiled. No wonder your disciple called you an old witch. Look at you, you're still protecting her even after hearing what she said. Master Yin was so angry that her face turned red. She wasn't the one who wanted to save Zhuo Qingwan. The matriarch wants to bring her back. Master Yin snorted coldly. If it's your matriarch's request, we can spare her for the time being for being a spy, Feng Xiangnan said. But what about the fact that she destroyed Xiao Wu's true phoenix blood? Master Yin stared at Feng Xiangnan. Are you not going to show the matriarch some respect? Don't forget that the matriarch is a peak expert of the ancient god era. Also, Master Yin stared at Feng Xiangnan. The place where Firmament Palace was built used to belong to the Junwu Empire. Ever since the matriarch woke up, we took that piece of land back from the Junwu Empire. Your emperor didn't say anything about that. What do you want to say, General Feng? She sneered again. The Firmament Palace doesn't belong to the Junwu Empire. Even if Zhuo Qingwan helps the Dongsang Kingdom, she's not a spy. You can't humiliate her here. Chapter 3429. Chapter 3429. Matriarch. Chapter 3429. Matriarch. The moment Master Yin said that, everyone was shocked. What? Firmament Palace had already left the Junwu Empire and become an independent territory. Back then, the Dark Dynasty had also declared independence from the Junwu Empire. Was Firmament Palace going to do the same? General Feng's expression turned ugly. When Master Yin saw Feng Xiangnan's face, she was rather pleased. Since Firmament Palace isn't a subordinate of the Junwu Empire, we naturally don't have to obey your orders. This was the first time Zhuo Qingwan had heard the news, and she was thrilled. In other words, her reputation as a spy had been cleared just like that. Had God finally begun to favor her? Master Yin was still bragging to Feng Xiangnan about how impressive and awesome their matriarch was. Suddenly, a figure flashed past her. Zhuo Qingwan screamed in frustration. Everyone turned to look at Zhuo Qingwan. A tiny hole appeared on her forehead, and blood seeped out. Her eyes widened in disbelief. True phoenix blood. Master Yin let out a cry of surprise. Everyone realized that the true phoenix blood between Zhuo Qingwan's eyebrows had been dug out, and the person who had done it was none other than Feng Wu. Zhuo Qingwan's true phoenix blood was in Feng Wu's right hand. Feng Wu was so fast that no one could react in time. Oh God! It was only at this moment that everyone finally understood what had happened. While Master Yin and General Feng were talking, Feng Wu took advantage of the situation and dug Zhuo Qingwan's true phoenix blood out from where it was buried between the brows. Zhuo Qingwan was bleeding profusely. She was trembling. Moreover, her cultivation was declining at a visible speed. Spiritual king, spiritual lord, spiritual elder. Her cultivation level kept falling. Flustered, Master Yin rushed up to Zhuo Qingwan and tapped several spots on her body, hoping to delay the decline, but she couldn't do it. The decline of Zhuo Qingwan's cultivation level was due to the decline of her spiritual essence. Right now, Zhuo Qingwan was leaking like a deflating balloon. Moreover, she was leaking from more than one spot. Could Master Yin block hundreds of leaks? In the end, Master Yin could only watch as Zhuo Qingwan became a piece of trash with zero cultivation. Just like how Feng Wu used to be. Feng Wu. Master Yin stared at Feng Wu with bloodshot eyes. The matriarch had specifically asked for Zhuo Qingwan, but she had been destroyed to such an extent. Master Yin didn't know how to explain it to the matriarch when she returned. Feng Wu had a solemn look on her face. There was no smile or sadness. She looked at Zhuo Qingwan and asked indifferently, "How does it feel to have your true phoenix blood destroyed?" Zhuo Qingwan stared at Feng Wu with a cold look in her eyes. She wanted to kill Feng Wu. She wanted to kill Feng Wu. She wanted to kill Feng Wu. Zhuo Qingwan felt as if she had lost her mind. She wanted nothing more than to tear Feng Wu into pieces. All of Zhuo Qingwan's feigned kindness and innocence was gone. All she could think of now was hatred. Master Yin stared at Feng Wu. "Do you want to die?" Feng Wu said calmly, "I'm just giving someone a taste of their own medicine." Everyone looked at Zhuo Qingwan and couldn't help but think of an 8-year-old Feng Wu. Chapter 3430. Chapter 3430. True Phoenix Blood. Chapter 3430. True Phoenix Blood. How helpless Feng Wu would have been then. "Damn you, Zhuo Qingwan." Master Yin took a deep breath and gave Feng Wu a look before turning to Feng Xiangnan. "I'm taking her away." Master Yin pointed at Feng Wu. Feng Xiangnan's expression was no longer as nonchalant as before. He became much more serious. He could deal with Master Yin, but if the matriarch behind her really existed, it would be a huge problem. As a matter of fact, if Firmament Palace really became independent, the matriarch probably existed. Feng Xiangnan looked at Feng Wu in frustration. This girl was really accurate and ruthless. Fearing that she wouldn't be able to take revenge if Zhuo Qingwan was taken back, she attacked first. Well, he was her godfather, and it was his duty to protect her. General Feng was aware of this. He stared at Master Yin. "No." Master Yin stared at Feng Xiangnan. "General Feng, do you need me to remind you? If my matriarch turns to help the Dongseng Kingdom, what do you think will happen?" Feng Xiangnan frowned. After Master Yin finished threatening him, she stared at him. "I'll take Feng Wu away and let the matriarch deal with her. Once the matriarch is appeased, everything will be fine. Otherwise, billions of people will be plunged into misery and suffering." "Feng Xiangnan, can you bear the responsibility?" Feng Xiangnan frowned. He definitely wouldn't let her take Feng Wu away, but that matriarch of Firmament Palace wasn't easy to handle either. Just then, Jun Linyuan stood up. "Let her come." Jun Linyuan stared at Master Yin. Master Yin didn't know what to say. She stared at the crown prince in confusion. Jun Linyuan walked up to Feng Wu and took her hand. Master Yin's expression instantly turned ugly. Feng Wu was speechless. Her hand was covered with blood. Didn't Jun Linyuan mind holding it? Why would he do that now? Master Yin stared at Jun Linyuan. "What do you mean, Your Royal Highness?" Jun Linyuan narrowed his eyes. His gaze was as sharp as blades. Master Yin's heart skipped a beat. She hadn't seen Jun Linyuan in years, but he was already as strong as she was. She was the master of Firmament Palace. Whatever comes her way, I'll take it. Standing there, the teenager looked like a ruler of the continent. Master Yin gritted N1's teeth. What was so attractive about Feng Wu? Why were there people all standing up for her? "Great," Master Yin sneered. "In that case, I'll summon a projection of the matriarch's clone and let her decide. Don't regret it." With that, Master Yin took out an incense burner and lit incense before bowing. 3 incense sticks burned, and smoke curled up. Suddenly, The originally blue sky was covered in dark clouds. It was as if the world was being controlled by an invincible being. Whoosh! A bolt of lightning struck. Half of the general's residence was destroyed. Almost everyone turned pale. Feng Xiangnan had set up a formation barrier around the general's residence, but half of it had been destroyed by a bolt of lightning. What kind of terrifying power was this? Jun Linyuan felt the girl shudder, and he took a step forward to shield her. He narrowed his eyes and stared at the lightning, then told Feng Wu, "I'm here." He didn't say, "I'll protect you," or "I won't let go of your hand." He simply said, "I'm here." Chapter 34-31. Chapter 34-31. Am I wrong? Chapter 34-31. Am I wrong? Feng Wu wasn't one to be touched easily, but she somehow wanted to cry. Yes. Feng Wu nodded. Thunder continued to strike from the sky. The black clouds in the sky rolled out like a large black bag. There was only one last gap left. If it closed up, go. Jun Linyuan pushed Feng Wu toward General Feng, while he leaped up toward the remaining gap. The young man was furious. He pointed his sword at the sky and rushed into the surging black clouds. The sharp sword energy swept through everything. Endless killing intent stirred up a storm. In the dark void, a huge hand suddenly appeared. Matriarch, a look of delight appeared on Master Yun's face. She had been suppressed by Jun Linyuan and Feng Xiangnan and had been powerless to fight back. Now, the matriarch was finally here. How could these people compare to the strength of her matriarch? Jun Linyuan's Sky Destroyer struck the giant hand. General Feng, Mr. Liu, and Mr. Su, all of them looked extremely grim. With their strength, they could easily sense how powerful the other party was. Mr. Liu and Mr. Su looked at each other in awe. One strike. Mr. Liu lowered his voice and said to Mr. Su, "I won't be able to take even one strike." Mr. Su nodded silently. Me neither. General Feng's originally calm expression was now extremely solemn. His expression was even uglier than when he looked at Xue Zhibei. At least he could fight Xue Zhibei. He couldn't do anything to that palm. General Feng didn't think he could withstand two blows. Boom! Sky Destroyer and the palm collided in midair. The palm pressed down as if it wanted to crush Sky Destroyer into dust. The spiritual essence around them was in chaos. The impact sent Jun Linyuan flying. He landed next to Feng Wu. However, he had cut the palm in half. Feng Wu wrapped her arms around Jun Linyuan in a hurry, but Jun Linyuan was staring at the palm. General Feng felt a little relieved. How amazing! His strength had increased by another level. Fortunately, the giant palm was split apart. Otherwise, Master Yun's expression was extremely ugly. How could an ancient god like the matriarch be injured? Although the matriarch wasn't here in person, and it was only a projection of her, how could Jun Linyuan cut in half? Just as everyone was feeling bewildered, the palm that had been split open fused back together as they watched, and was soon intact again. Moreover, this time, a golden layer glowed around it. Had Jun Linyuan made another breakthrough? An ancient and distant voice sounded in the depths of everyone's minds. Young man, I've underestimated you. With such thin spiritual essence, it's really rare that you can make such a breakthrough. But you're disobedient. The female voice seemed to come from an ancient time, but it didn't sound old. I'll take only her and let you go. With that, the palm reached for Feng Wu. Go to hell. Gripping Sky Destroyer tightly, Jun Linyuan didn't say anything else and charged into the air again. No one expected Jun Linyuan to be so brave. Endless spiritual essence gathered around Sky Destroyer, ready to kill. The voice rang out regretfully. I didn't want to kill you, but you insisted. The matriarch almost sounded sincere. Chapter 34-32. Chapter 34-32. Ancient God. Chapter 34-32. Ancient God. The matriarch almost sounded sincere. But in the end, she still attacked. "Young man, pay the price for your stupidity," said the matriarch. However, Jun Linyuan's expression remained grim and unaffected. "The matriarch? You talk too much." No one had expected Jun Linyuan to say that. The matriarch was also shocked. "Disappear." Jun Linyuan roared like a dragon. As he roared, Sky Destroyer borrowed the power of heaven and earth and pointed at the palm. Thunderclaps and a huge explosion resounded in the sky. Both Nest and Sun Castle felt the impact. In Sun Castle, Shueji Bei was furious. Feng Xiangnan had been severely injured, and he was about to launch an all-out attack. However, all his fighter jets were gone. How could he not be angry? Shueji Bei lashed out at Mr. Sakia, and the scolding had yet to stop. Hearing the thunderous commotion outside, Shueji Bei walked out of the house. Mr. Sakia followed him. The two of them stared in the direction of Nest Fortress. "It's over there." Mr. Sakia frowned. Something major seems to have happened at Nest Fortress. Shueji Bei placed his hands behind his back, his long sleeves almost touching the ground. He stared at the black clouds and frowned. After thinking for a moment, he finally said, "It's an ancient aura. The legendary ancient god stage cultivator?" Mr. Sakia looked at Shueji Bei in surprise. Shueji Bei nodded. Mr. Sakia said, "An ancient god stage cultivator? Prime Minister Chu is at that stage too. A cultivator that has lived that long is a disaster for us." Shueji Bei smiled. "What if it's only targeting the Junwu Empire?" Mr. Sakia looked at Shueji Bei in confusion. Shueji Bei rubbed his chin and fell into deep thought. From the looks of it, this formidable cultivator with the aura of an ancient god was only targeting the Junwu Empire. Sun Castle seemed to be unaffected. Should he take the opportunity to launch a sneak attack? Shueji Bei immediately summoned the two guardians and Mr. Sakia to speed toward Nest. They would soon reach Nest after passing through the Dalus Woods. Shueji Bei waved his hand, and the three people behind him immediately stopped. At this moment, the Demon Kings in the Dalus Woods were trembling under the aura of the ancient god. They didn't dare to raise their heads. The sacred Imperial spider saw Shueji Bei pass through its forest and head toward Nest. The Peacock Demon King was visiting the spider and saw this scene as well. The two Demon Kings looked at each other in astonishment. Nest was under attack by an ancient god stage cultivator and capable members of Sun Castle. Was the fortress doomed? Both Demon Kings were worried about Feng Wu's fate. At the same time, everyone in Nest Fortress felt intimidated by the dark clouds. Elder Dongfang and Elder Helian didn't know what was going on. They went to look for the heads of their schools, but they couldn't find them, so they rushed to look for the general. They found the gate wide open, and all the high-ranking officials were inside. If the giant palm landed, the entire fortress would be instantly destroyed. In an instant, the two elders' expressions were ugly to the extreme, and they were also extremely terrified. They were filled with terror. A chill ran down their spines. Chapter 34-33. Chapter 34-33. Where's Zhua, Ingluan? Chapter 34-33. Where's Zhua, Ingluan? Just then, they saw the injured Jun Linyuan soar into the sky, cursing loudly. "Shut your mouth." Upon hearing this, Elder Dongfang, Elder Helian, Shueji Bei, and Feng Xiangnan all looked at Jun Linyuan in astonishment. He was so bold. Wasn't he afraid of the matriarch? There was a strange look on Shueji Bei's face. Dark clouds covered the sky, and the air was filled with murderous intent. If Jun Linyuan couldn't stop that hand, Nest would be destroyed, and it would be the best time for Shueji Bei to attack. To everyone's surprise, Jun Linyuan put away his Sky Destroyer at the most critical moment and punched the giant palm. Just one punch. The spiritual essence was chaotic, and the entire world seemed to be on the verge of collapse. Shueji Bei's expression was extremely ugly. That punch, Jun Linyuan was so powerful. After he was injured last time, his strength could still improve. Was he even human? Shueji Bei looked up at the vast sky. The giant palm that could decide the life and death of countless people seemed to explode in an instant, turning into specks of light. He was astonished. That was an ancient god. How did Jun Linyuan do that? Let's go. Shueji Bei took a deep breath and left with a dark expression. He didn't want to watch anymore. That was because Jun Linyuan was able to make a breakthrough on the spot after destroying the giant palm with one punch. How could anyone believe that? Anyway, General Shueji Bei couldn't stand it anymore. Mr. Sakiya could understand the general's complicated emotions since he didn't wish for this to happen either. His crown prince was still bedridden. Not only was Jun Linyuan alive and kicking, he had also made another breakthrough. How did that happen? Master Yin looked at the scene in disbelief. Jun Linyuan had destroyed the matriarch's projection with one punch. Although it was a projected wisp of the matriarch's aura, it was enough to kill experts of the current era. But the palm was destroyed just like that. Seeing Jun Linyuan sit down cross-legged and start cultivating, Master Yun was speechless. She didn't know what to say, but she still had to say something. Ew. Master Yun's expression darkened. Don't think that you've won the battle. That was only a wisp of my matriarch's aura. It was just a projection. If she was here in person, you wouldn't have been able to withstand a single strike. Jun Linyuan didn't say anything, but Feng Wu smirked. Then why isn't your matriarch here in person? Tell her to come here. Master Yin glared at Feng Wu. Feng Wu was baffled. Had she said something wrong? General Feng patted Feng Wu on the head and explained in resignation. That matriarch hasn't fully awakened yet. Has she? That's why she can only project a wisp of her aura to carry out her tyrannical deeds. Master Yun's expression turned uglier. What did he mean by tyrannical deeds? However, Feng Xiangnan was right. The matriarch hadn't completely revived. That was why Jun Linyuan could destroy the palm. Just then, Feng Sun cried out, "Hey, where's Zhuo Qingwan?" Everyone turned to where Zhuo Qingwan had been lying. Zhuo Qingwan was nowhere to be seen. Where did she go? Chapter 34-34. Chapter 34-34. It's all my fault. Chapter 34-34. It's all my fault. Master Yun smirked. My matriarch has boundless power and is omnipotent. She took Zhuo Qingwan away. Do you have a problem with that? General Feng was speechless. She was the famous master of Firmament Palace and was used to getting things her way. Why was she acting in a fit of pique? In fact, Master Yin was indeed being spiteful. She wouldn't accept the fact that the projection of her matriarch had been destroyed. This meant that unless the matriarch personally took action, Master Yin couldn't do anything to Jun Linyuan anymore. In the end, Master Yin gave Jun Linyuan and Feng Wu a meaningful look in turn and was about to leave. However, General Feng asked Feng Wu, "Do you want her to leave?" Master Yin was shocked. What was that supposed to mean? She was the master of Firmament Palace. Who could stop her if she wanted to leave? General Feng asked again, "Are we done with Zhuo Qingwan yet?" When a student makes a mistake, it's always the master's fault. If you haven't vented your anger yet, Zhuo Qingwan's master is still around. Master Yin was furious. She was frustrated. Were these people all so daring? Weren't they afraid of her matriarch? When the matriarch fully recovered, Master Yin sneered inwardly. When that happened, the Junwu Empire would no longer have the final say. Seeing Jun Linyuan's pale face, Feng Wu blamed herself. Earlier, she destroyed Zhuo Qingwan's true phoenix blood and drew the attention of the Firmament Palace's matriarch, which had almost caused immeasurable consequences. Feng Wu shook her head. Zhuo Qingwan destroyed my true phoenix blood back then, and I've done the same to her today. I've settled the score. After a pause, Feng Wu added, "But if Zhuo Qingwan wants to take revenge, we'll deal with her later." General Feng nodded approvingly. He liked how his daughter could draw a line when it came to her emotions. "You can leave now." General Feng nodded at Master Yun. Master Yun was infuriated. She and General Feng were equal in terms of strength and social status. Neither should order the other one around, but General Feng had used such a condescending tone. Master Yin turned around and was about to retort, but she then saw Jun Lin Yuan, who was making a breakthrough, and all the other masters of Nest. She was so angry that she laughed. Very well, General Feng, since you insist on protecting her, then protect her to the end. When the time comes, I hope you won't be too surprised which side Firmament Palace will choose. I also hope that you won't regret your choice. With that said, Master Yin turned around and left. Soon, she disappeared from sight. She was heading towards Sun Castle. Mr. Su frowned deeply and looked at General Feng with concern. General Feng, Master Yin is going. Frustrated, Feng Wu took a deep breath and reflected on herself. Father, it's all because of me. What Master Yin said before she left was quite sly. What she meant was that Firmament Palace would support Sun Castle, because General Feng and Jun Lin Yuan had chosen to protect Feng Wu. That put Feng Wu at a disadvantage. Firmament Palace was already very powerful, and the matriarch was also recovering. Feng Wu felt a headache coming on. Chapter 34-35. Chapter 34-35. Protect Feng Wu. Chapter 34-35. Protect Feng Wu. What Master Yin said before she left was quite sly. What she meant was that Firmament Palace would support Sun Castle, because General Feng and Jun Lin Yuan had chosen to protect Feng Wu. General Feng waved his hand. Even if none of this had happened, do you think Firmament Palace would have helped the Junwu Empire? Everyone thought of Master Yun's arrogant attitude and shook their heads. General Feng added, Zhuo Qingwan is the sacred lady of Firmament Palace. It might not have been her own decision to help the Dongsang Kingdom. Mr. Liu and Mr. Su nodded slightly. General Feng said, From what I see, Firmament Palace probably planned this a long time ago. After that, General Feng turned to Feng Wu and gave her a wry smile. So, Firmament Palace has already chosen its side. What does it have to do with you? It's just that. General Feng frowned. The only thing I need to worry about is that since you've destroyed Zhuo Qingwan's ability, Firmament Palace and the Zhuo family will do you harm. Feng Wu said, I'm not afraid of them. Meanwhile, Jun Lin Yuan opened his eyes and stared at Feng Wu. He said calmly, I'm here. The simple reply was very reassuring. General Feng nodded and said to Jun Lin Yuan in a serious tone, Take good care of Xiao Wu from now on. The Crown Prince said, Yes. General Feng said, She can't leave your sight. The Crown Prince said, Yes. General Feng said, Don't give anyone any chance to get to her. The Crown Prince said, Yes. Everyone gave Jun Lin Yuan strange IOKS. He was an early-stage spirit saint. No, he was already an intermediate-stage spirit saint and the Crown Prince of the Empire. Why was he so happy to be a bodyguard for a girl? That wasn't like Jun Lin Yuan at all. Feng Wu waved him off. Don't bother. I don't need anyone to protect me. I can protect myself. General Feng rolled his eyes at Feng Wu. Can you? Can you even get away from a spiritual saint? Feng Wu said, Well, with her current strength, she couldn't even handle a spiritual overlord, let alone a spiritual saint. Feng Wu said, I don't think a spiritual overlord will come after me, right? I've settled the score with Zhuo Qingwan. We're even now. Why would a spiritual overlord? General Feng glanced at Feng Wu. You have no idea how petty the people of Firmament Palace are. General Feng didn't say anything else. He told Jun Lin Yuan in a serious tone, If anything happens to this girl, I'll hold you responsible. Who would dare speak to Jun Lin Yuan in that tone? Even Emperor Wu couldn't do that. However, the Crown Prince took a step closer to Feng Wu and nodded. All right. Feng Wu looked resigned. She truly believed that she and Zhuo Qingwan were even. No matter how unreasonable Firmament Palace was, they wouldn't hunt her down. Mr. Liu cleared his throat and reminded General Feng. Shueji Bei was here just now. General Feng nodded in resignation. Of course he knew that. Feng Wu didn't, so she was shocked. Shueji, wasn't he the general who was even more powerful than her godfather? He seemed to be even more powerful than Jun Linyuan. If he came, Feng Wu was shocked. She looked at Jun Linyuan. Shueji must have heard the commotion and rushed over. If Jun Linyuan hadn't broken the giant palm and had been suppressed by it instead, would Shueji have taken the opportunity to attack Nest? Feng Wu knew the answer was definitely yes. Chapter 34-36. Chapter 34-36. Making things difficult. Chapter 34-36. Making things difficult. Feng Wu's heart raced at the thought of how close Nest had been to destruction. That was close. It was all thanks to Jun Linyuan. Feng Wu looked at him gratefully. Standing there proudly, he was slender and handsome. His side profile was deep and sharp, like an unsheathed sword. He looked extremely arrogant as he looked forward, but he gave on a sense of security. When Feng Wu got back, she could hear the exclamations. Everyone was discussing what happened today. Before Feng Wu could figure out what was going on, Feng Sun arrived. "Shall we?" Feng Wu looked over her shoulder. The sight of Feng Sun gave her a headache. Something must have happened again, or Feng Sun wouldn't be in such a hurry. "You won't believe it." Sure enough, Feng Sun started talking before he reached her. Feng Wu looked at him in resignation. "What happened now?" Feng Sun said. "I was trying to calm him down. When I reached the portal, I saw Feng coming back, so I asked him why he returned. Guess what happened?" Feng Wu asked. "Is it about the Crown Prince's residence and Bao Air?" Feng Sun stared at Feng Wu in surprise. "How did you know?" Feng Wu smacked her head. How could she have forgotten such an important thing? She had the immortal spiritual fruit liquid that she had stolen from Sun Castle. It had belonged to Night Owl, but Feng Wu had stolen it and kept it for Bao Air. However, she had been so busy recently that she had forgotten about it. She hadn't told anyone about it, not even Jun Linyuan. "What happened to Bao Air?" Feng Wu asked in a hurry. "She's not well. She may only has a few days left." Before Feng Sun could finish, Feng Wu ran toward Jun Linyuan's yard. "Boss Jun must be back in the Empire by now," Feng Sun shouted after her. Without another word, Feng Wu headed for the portal. She turned around and told Feng Sun, "Tell my godfather that I'm going back to the Imperial capital." Feng Wu went straight to the portal. At this moment, there was a row of people standing at the teleportation gate. "Stop!" It was a level 5 spiritual king who stopped Feng Wu. Feng Wu frowned. "I'm going to the Imperial capital now." The spiritual king stared at Feng Wu with a stern face and shook his head arrogantly. "No." Feng Wu frowned. Saving a life was the most important thing, but she was stuck here. "I'm going to the Imperial capital." Feng Wu raised her voice. The spiritual king darted a look at Feng Wu. "The portal only opens once a month. Don't you know that?" Feng Wu asked. "When will it open again?" The spiritual king said coldly, "Next month. Please leave." Feng Wu stared at him in displeasure. The man was from the military academy, so he didn't take Feng Wu seriously. He smirked. "The Crown Prince just used the portal, so the next time it opens will be in a month. Do you have a problem with that?" Feng Wu took a deep breath. Just as the saying went, those who wielded a small amount of power were the hardest to deal with. "Just tell me what it takes to open the portal." Feng Wu stared at him. The spiritual king said, "That's not easy, unless Elder Hellion and Elder Dongfang agree to your request." Feng Wu asked, "Does Jun Linyuan need that too?" "Of course not. The Crown Prince has the authority." The man gave Feng Wu a sidelong glance and snorted. Chapter 34-37. Chapter 34-37. Big Shot. Chapter 34-37. Big Shot. The man gave Feng Wu a sidelong glance and snorted. "Of course, it would be even better if you could get the general's token. Unfortunately, you can't. He was the one who let the new students in not long ago." So, he remembered very clearly that Feng Wu was a freshman of Imperial College. A mere freshman dared to ask him to open the portal and let her go back on her own? What a joke. However, the gatekeeper didn't expect Feng Wu to throw a token at him. He hurriedly caught it to take a look. That's the general's entry token. That's impossible. The guard stared at Feng Wu. Feng Wu frowned. Are you saying the token is fake? In order to make it easier to walk around Nest, Feng Wu had asked the general to give her a token. To Feng Wu, it was only a matter of saying a few words to her father, but to the gatekeeper, it was unbelievable. The token had to be real because no one could fake the general's aura. However, the gatekeeper couldn't figure out why this freshman. Seeing that he was staring at her arm, Feng Wu thought of something and revealed her epaulette. A colonel. The gatekeeper's eyes widened. What was going on? This freshman of Imperial College had only been at Nest for a few months, but she had already become a colonel. Your military rank. The guard wanted to ask if she had stolen the badge, but he couldn't bring himself to say the words. Feng Wu asked what? The gatekeeper asked, is it real? Feng Wu was speechless. At this moment, a person walked over quickly. Elder Dongfang. The gatekeeper was from a military academy and was a lieutenant colonel, so he was very respectful when he saw Elder Dongfang. Elder Dongfang stared at Feng Wu. She said coldly, the general knows that you're in a hurry to return to Imperial College. He's worried that the guard will make things difficult for you, so he asked me to see you off. The gatekeeper was speechless. Was the general personally looking after Feng Wu? Feng Wu nodded and looked grim. The guard was very puzzled. Elder Dongfang had personally come here to give instructions, but this freshman of Imperial College didn't kneel down in gratitude. He was a little confused. Elder Dongfang said solemnly, you're very important to Nest. After you return to the Crown Prince's residence, you must rush back as soon as possible. Feng Wu nodded. Elder Dongfang turned to the gatekeeper. What are you looking at? Open the portal and see Miss Feng Wu off. Miss Feng Wu, with his boss glaring at him, the gatekeeper didn't dare say another word. He immediately opened the portal and walked Miss Feng Wu out. After some thought, Feng Wu waved her hand and 10 fighter jets flew out of her space and landed on the ground. She said calmly, please use these fighter jets as soon as possible. The Dongseng Kingdom will soon develop a second generation. Meanwhile, Feng Wu was already working on a second-generation fighter jet herself. However, she had been too busy recently. There was Bao Air's case, and Firmament Palace would probably come looking for trouble soon. Feng Wu soon disappeared through the portal. Elder Dongfang ordered people to take the fighter jets back. Chapter 3438. Chapter 3438, Assassination 1. Chapter 3438, Assassination 1. The gatekeeper was dumbfounded. General Feng, the Crown Prince's residence, the fighter jets, and Elder Dongfang. None of them were things that ordinary people could come into contact with. He had thought that Feng Wu was a newbie, but she turned out to be a big shot. Feng Wu didn't know that her casual actions had shocked someone so much, but even if she did, she wouldn't have cared. After exiting the portal, she hurried to the Crown Prince's residence. She didn't stop moving. Moreover, she only chose remote paths since a straight line was the shortest route. Just as Feng Wu was about to fly past Dark Cloud Alley and turn into East Main Street, something happened. She felt the extreme danger of being targeted. Instinctively, Feng Wu rolled over the wall. Thud! Thud! Arrows rained down. As Feng Wu rolled, countless arrows pierced the ground. If Feng Wu hadn't reacted in time, she would have turned into a porcupine. Who could it be? Feng Wu's face darkened. She had just returned from Nest and couldn't even make it back to her house before she was ambushed. Who the hell was it? Before Feng Wu could figure out, the first wave of sharpshooters retreated and a group of men in black lunged at her. Feng Wu stared at them. They were rather capable. They were all level 3 and level 4 spiritual kings, and all of them were good fighters. However, had they underestimated her? If they were sent by someone in Nest, they would have known that she was already a level 6 spiritual king. There was no way they would send level 3 and level 4 spiritual kings to assassinate her. These people would never get the job done. Therefore, Feng Wu was instantly certain that the person who was trying to assassinate her wasn't an enemy in Nest, but someone from the Imperial capital. Without hesitation, Feng Wu drew her fallen star sword. Dozens of level 3 and level 4 spiritual kings were killed instantly. The leader of those men hiding in the dark froze. He stared at Feng Wu with wide eyes. This shouldn't be. Wasn't Feng Wu a level 2 spiritual king? Many people knew that Feng Wu had become a level 2 spiritual king during the battle between Imperial College and the military academy. Hence, the leader had planned an assassination based on that knowledge. But now, his men were in such a sorry state. A level 6 spiritual king. Was she even human? In just a few months, she had become a level 6 spiritual king. How did she make such fast progress? However, the leader himself was a peak level 7 spiritual king. A sneer appeared on the leader's face. Feng Wu wasn't going anywhere. She couldn't leave. A whip lashed out at Feng Wu like a snake. It happened so fast that no one else would have reacted in time. Luckily, Feng Wu was on guard, so she leaned to the side to avoid the whip. By the time Feng Wu stood up, the leader was already pointing the black whip at her. Have you been lying in ambush here ever since I entered Nest? Feng Wu looked at him curiously. The leader stared at Feng Wu coldly. Feng Wu said, "Didn't anyone tell you that I'm a level 6 spiritual king now? Why is your information so outdated?" Feng Wu found it hard to believe. The leader felt as if Feng Wu had slapped him again and again. Chapter 3439. Chapter 3439. Assassination 2. Chapter 3439. Assassination 2. Die. Like a snake, the black whip lashed out at Feng Wu mercilessly. The hideous black whip looked like a dragon with its mouth open as it went for Feng Wu. Feng Wu smirked. A peak level 7 spiritual king? That's impressive. Feng Wu used her 3 powerful stances one after another. After 7 moves, the leader was shocked. Wasn't Feng Wu a level 6 spiritual king? Why couldn't he defeat her after so long, even though he was a peak level 7 spiritual king? The whip couldn't even touch her clothes. Boom! The whip exploded, and a streak of fire shot toward Feng Wu. The explosion swept through everything. Feng Wu backed away at once. But she was too close to the explosion, and her head was spinning from the blast. The leader blew up his favorite weapon, which was a major move. Seeing Feng Wu was dazed, the leader attacked. Dying. Clenching his fist, he punched at Feng Wu. His fist whistled through the air. It was like a huge wave on the sea or a storm sweeping over. Feng Wu was hit in the stomach. Her abdomen caved in, and blood rushed up her throat. Ouch! Feng Wu spat out a mouthful of blood. The leader was ecstatic to see Feng Wu throw up blood. Boom! He threw another punch at Feng Wu. Feng Wu was hit again, and she flew backward. Boom! She smashed into a wall, which collapsed and fell on her. That had to be painful as hell. An indescribable pain washed over Feng Wu. She struggled to get up, only to find that she had no strength left. What should she do? Feng Wu remembered that there were still a few bombs in her storage space. She had taken them from the Dongsang Kingdom. She didn't use them up and had kept them there. The leader's 2 punches smashed Feng Wu down, and she was unable to get up. He smirked when he saw this. I can't believe that a level 6 spiritual king is so weak. Feng Wu, I overestimated you. The leader sneered. Feng Wu couldn't help but recall that Mr. Liu had told her the same thing. Mr. Liu hadn't built a good foundation and had become rather vulnerable as he cultivated. He was also seriously ill at the moment. Feng Wu took a deep breath. Indeed, after this incident, she needed to start enhancing her own body. The leader stood in front of Feng Wu and stared down at her with a cold, mocking look in his eyes. He threw a punch at Feng Wu's heart. Feng Wu had been gathering her strength. When the leader threw his punch, Feng Wu threw the bomb at him. As for herself, she used the momentum and flew back again. Never in his wildest dreams could the man have imagined that Feng Wu would have such a lethal bomb in her hands. Only the Dongseng Kingdom had this type of bomb, and the Junwu Empire hadn't mastered this technology, so it was normal that the leader hadn't seen it before. Boom! There was an explosion. The bomb couldn't kill him and could only injure him. Feng Wu knew that she only had one chance. Die! She drew Fallen Star's sword and used her most powerful moves. The tip of the sword stabbed the man between his eyebrows. The leader struggled to break free from the explosion, only to see the glinting blade. By the time he reacted, the sword tip was already pressed to his forehead. Chapter 3440. Chapter 3440. Assassination 3. Chapter 3440. Assassination 3. He stared in disbelief at Feng Wu, who was only a meter away from him. Feng Wu's face was pale, and she was covered in blood. However, she was determined to pour all her energy into the sword. The leader wanted to speak, but he couldn't say a word. "Who sent you?" Feng Wu stared at him and asked in a cold voice. The leader opened his mouth and wanted to speak, but blood gushed out. "Who is it?" Feng Wu sprinkled some truth serum on his face. He didn't have much time left. She wanted to get as much information as she could. The leader was still stubborn at first. He sneered. "Why would I tell you it was Wa?" Before he could finish the name, an arrow tore through the air. It pierced the back of the man's head. The leader slowly dropped to his knees. He was completely dead. Feng Wu looked in the direction of the arrow. Seeing Feng Wu's pale face, the archer was about to walk out of his hiding place. Feng Wu could even see his black combat boots. She was alarmed. She had suffered 2 punches and was now suffering from serious internal injuries. Although she had poured a semi-divine potion down her mouth, such serious injuries couldn't be healed in a short time. Feng Wu could feel that her dantian had almost shattered, and it was recovering slowly. Just now, she had taken a very big risk to finally kill the leader of the black men. Right now, she was so exhausted that she couldn't even draw her sword. Even an ordinary person could kill her, let alone a cultivator. The man in the dark kept his eyes on Feng Wu. He had no idea what was going on with her. After all, he hadn't expected Feng Wu to kill a level 7 spiritual king. He was waiting for Feng Wu to fall. However, at that moment, he suddenly felt he was in grave danger. A look of frustration appeared on his face. He was vexed that he didn't make a move earlier. Now he had lost his chance. He didn't make any unnecessary movements and instantly disappeared from the spot. "Miss Wu." Feng appeared next to Feng Wu. The man who had wanted to assassinate Feng Wu had already disappeared. "Miss Xiao Wu." Seeing how pale Feng Wu's face was and the blood on her chest, Feng was startled. He was about to go after that person. Seeing the steward, Feng Wu felt that she was safe and spat out a mouthful of blood. God knew that she had long wanted to do that. Confronting the person hiding in the dark, she supported herself and didn't show any signs of serious injuries. If she had revealed any trace of an injury earlier, she would probably be dead by now. Feng caught Feng Wu in a hurry. "Did someone try to kill you?" The steward was vexed. Although he had expected it at the beginning, he didn't think Firmament Palace would take action so soon. Feng Wu just walked out of the portal. Feng Wu spat out a mouthful of blood and felt much better. She asked Feng, "Are you here for me?" Feng nodded. Feng Wu asked, "Is Bao Er seriously ill?" Feng nodded. "His Royal Highness didn't want to trouble you, but Bao Er's condition is too serious, so he asked me to pick you up at Nest. He didn't expect someone to try and assassinate Feng Wu along the way." "Who was it?" Feng frowned. Feng Wu smiled. "Who do you think?" Chapter 3441. Chapter 3441. Assassination 4. Chapter 3441. Assassination 4. The steward didn't say anything, but there weren't many families that could send a level 7 spiritual king. Feng Wu said, "Let's not talk about that. We should go." Seeing how pale Feng Wu was and how unsteady she was on her feet, the steward was very worried. "Didn't you say that Bao Er is in serious condition?" Feng Wu smiled wryly. "But you'll have to give me a carriage. I don't think I can make it to the Crown Prince's residence on foot." Feng wanted to ask Feng Wu if she could handle it. But seeing the girl's persistence and thinking about Bao Er's condition, the steward nodded and ordered his men to get a carriage ready. As for himself, he didn't dare leave Feng Wu's side. The steward remembered clearly that the Crown Prince had said that he would protect Feng Wu, but now she had almost been assassinated. His Royal Highness would be furious. He wondered which family was so bold. Weren't they afraid of death? Feng Wu got into the carriage and began to treat herself. Fortunately, she still had some healing medicine on her. In fact, the immortal spiritual fruit medicinal liquid would help her internal injuries a lot, but Feng Wu didn't use a single drop. She only used her own medicine. The journey from Black Cloud Alley to the Crown Prince's residence took half an hour since they were traveling by carriage. Feng Wu had already recovered from her external injuries, but her internal injuries weren't healing so quickly. The slightest movement of her spiritual essence was enough to make her head hurt. Before getting out of the carriage, Feng Wu took a look at her dirty clothes and changed into another set. By the time she got out of the carriage, apart from her pale face, she looked almost normal. Outside the Crown Prince's residence, Feng Wu saw rows of ceremonial guards. They were the ceremonial guards of the Empress Dowager, Empress Dugu, and Princess Jun Wuxia. Feng frowned. "I was only gone for a short while. Are the Empress Dowager and the others here already?" The Crown Prince liked peace and quiet. Normally, he wouldn't let anyone disturb Bao Er's peace. Was Bao Er already? Apart from them, there were also other carriages and horses. "The Hua family is here too." The steward frowned even more. Feng Wu asked the Hua family. Feng told Feng Wu. The eldest princess's husband was a member of the Hua family, but from a branch family. It's quite complicated, but the Hua family isn't easy to get along with. Miss Wu, just ignore them. Feng Wu nodded. She was almost too weak to even save Bao Er, let alone care about anything else. However, before Feng Wu could reach the golden house that Jun Linyuan had specially built for Bao Er, someone stopped her at the door. Hey, stop. Standing in the backyard, Jun Wuxia frowned at Feng Wu. "Who are you? This isn't a place for you. Get lost." Feng frowned. "Princess Wuxia." Jun Wuxia waved her hand. "Feng, you're an experienced steward. Don't you know what's important? Can't you see what's happening now? Why are you still letting people in? Aren't you afraid that my brother, the Crown Prince, will cut your head off?" The steward's face darkened. He was about to speak when there was a voice from inside, as if someone was asking what the noise was about. Both Feng and Feng Wu recognized the Empress Dowager's voice. They had to pass through the door of the backyard to reach the exquisite golden palace, which meant that Feng Wu had been stopped outside. "Let her in," the Empress Dowager said impatiently. With a cold face, Feng led Feng Wu in. Chapter 3442. Chapter 3442. Kick her out. Chapter 3442. Kick her out. Jun Wuxia tried to stop her, but Feng Wu bumped into her as she walked past the princess. Although Feng Wu was injured, she was still a level 6 spiritual king, and her aura alone was much stronger than Jun Wuxia's. Therefore, she could easily brush past Jun Wuxia. Jun Wuxia cried out in pain and flew backward. She fell in a flower bed and couldn't pull herself out. Feng Wu walked into the backyard, and everyone looked at her. The Empress Dowager sat at the head of the table, and next to her was Empress Dugu. Opposite her was an old lady with gray hair and a walking stick. The old lady seemed to be in good spirits, and her eyes were as sharp as blades and as cold as ice. Feng Wu felt a chill run down her spine when she saw the look in her eyes. What a powerful old lady. Her strength was extraordinary. From what Feng Wu could tell, the old lady was much stronger than she was. Seeing that Feng Wu was about to walk in, the Empress Dowager looked disgusted. "Stop!" the Empress Dowager bellowed. Feng Wu pretended not to hear her and kept walking. The Empress Dowager's face fell. She was the Empress Dowager, and no one had ever disobeyed her like that. How dare someone disrespect her? Before the maid next to the Empress Dowager could say anything, the old lady sitting next to the Empress Dowager rose to her feet. No one knew how she moved. Feng Wu's vision blurred, and before she knew it, the old lady was standing in front of her. "Young lady, please wait." Feng Wu sensed a murderous look in the old lady's eyes. There was a sharp pain in her head. Feng Wu's face turned even paler, and she unconsciously rubbed her temples. Feng was already there. He stared at the old lady. "Mrs. Hua, are you trying to make things difficult for Miss Feng Wu?" Mrs. Hua was the Hua family that Feng had mentioned. Heartless Valley's Hua family. From the looks of it, the Hua family of Heartless Valley wasn't all that heartless. Mrs. Well, I didn't expect Feng to intervene. She knew how capable the steward was, but she didn't expect him to get involved in this matter. "Feng, the Empress Dowager is here." Mrs. Hua threatened him. The girl who had been standing behind Mrs. Hua stepped forward and stood next to her. She was taller than Feng Wu, and raised her chin and gave Feng Wu a condescending look. "Who's this girl? Doesn't she know where she is? Why didn't she bow to the Empress Dowager? Offending the Empress Dowager is a serious crime." "Hua Wushuang, you finally said something that makes sense." That was Jun Wuxia, who had been pulled out of the flower bed by a maid and eunuch. She hadn't liked Hua Wushuang at first, because Hua Wushuang was so much like Zhuo Qingwan. She was just as proud and as cold as Zhuo Qingwan. Mrs. Hua confronted the steward, while Hua Wushuang and Jun Wuxia blocked Feng Wu's way. Feng Wu had only recovered 20% or 30% of her strength after being injured by the assassin. She was only able to stand here now because of her determination. She really didn't have the strength to argue with others. "Get out of here. You're not welcome here." Jun Wuxia glared at Feng Wu and said in a nasty tone, "Kick her out." The Empress Dowager and Empress Dugu didn't move or speak. They just stared at Feng Wu coldly. Chapter 3443. Chapter 3443. His Majesty. Chapter 3443. His Majesty. The surrounding servants acted according to their master's wishes. The Empress Dowager looked as if she was acquiescing, and the servants understood her meaning. Hence, before their masters said anything, two eunuchs went up and tried to drag Feng Wu out. Feng had always been a good-natured man, but at this moment he was truly furious. His Royal Highness invited Miss Feng Wu to treat Princess Bao Er, the steward said as he gestured at Granny Gong. At his signal, Granny Gong turned around and headed for the door. Feng turned back to the Empress Dowager. "Your Majesty, if we delay Miss Bao Er's treatment and His Royal Highness loses his temper, no one will be able to take responsibility." That was very harsh. The Empress Dowager was a little shocked. Feng had always been by Jun Linyuan's side and was on good terms with Emperor Wu, but he hadn't had much dealings with the Empress Dowager. She hadn't expected him to be so intimidating when he was angry. In any case, the Empress Dowager was a little frightened. What was wrong with this world? How could a steward lecture the Empress Dowager? The Empress Dowager wasn't the only one who was shocked. Everyone else looked at the steward in surprise. Mrs. Hua stared at Feng and frowned. "Feng Tian, how dare you?" It seemed that Mrs. Hua and the steward were old acquaintances. She knew how capable the steward was, so she only threatened him verbally. The steward snorted. "I'm just sending Miss Feng Wu in to save Princess Bao." Mrs. Hua shook her head. "Everyone knows that it's hopeless for Bao Er. That's just an excuse." Feng said, "Miss Feng Wu is an extraordinary doctor. If there's anyone in the Junwu Empire who can save Princess Bao Er, it'll be her." The Empress Dowager frowned. "Feng, don't you understand what Mrs. Hua is saying? Bao Er is on her deathbed, and not even the gods can save her. Aren't you worried that I'll punish you for using this excuse to fool me? Just then, footsteps came from not far away. His Majesty has arrived. It was Emperor Wu. Dressed in bright yellow casual clothes and thick-soled boots, Emperor Wu soon came into the room. Everyone bowed to Emperor Wu. Emperor Wu ignored them and hurried over to the Empress Dowager. Greetings, Mother. Emperor Wu was the most filial and bowed to the Empress Dowager first. The Empress Dowager, on the other hand, pressed her hand to her chest, looking like she couldn't breathe. Emperor Wu looked worried as he hurried to the Empress Dowager's side. Mother, what's wrong? Are you feeling unwell? Having said that, Emperor Wu bellowed at the others, Go get the Imperial physician. Jun Wuxiao ran up to him and complained loudly. Father, grandmother is so angry because someone offended her. Emperor Wu frowned at her. Who dares to do that? Emperor Wu's eyes lit up when he saw Feng Wu. Xiao Wu, what are you doing here? Are you back from Nest? Come and see your grandmother. She's not feeling well. Jun Wuxiao almost lost her temper at Emperor Wu's words. She said indignantly, Father, Feng Wu was the one who made grandmother angry. Since when did her grandmother become Feng Wu's? What was wrong with her father? Jun Wuxiao was furious. However, Emperor Wu glared at her. What are you talking about? Xiao Wu is the most obedient girl. How could she have offended Her Majesty? Don't make false accusations. Chapter 3444. Chapter 3444. How amazing is Xiao Wu? Chapter 3444. How amazing is Xiao Wu? However, Emperor Wu glared at her. What are you talking about? Xiao Wu is the most obedient girl. How could she have offended Her Majesty? Don't make false accusations. Emperor Wu wasn't angry, but Jun Wuxiao was fuming. She got the sense that Feng Wu was Emperor Wu's biological daughter, while she herself had been picked up from the roadside. Father, Jun Wuxiao stomped her foot. However, Emperor Wu said kindly to Feng Wu, Xiao Wu, come here and have a look at your grandmother. The Empress Dowager was furious at Emperor Wu. Didn't he know that she didn't like Feng Wu? I don't need her help, the Empress Dowager said angrily. Who knows if she'll take the chance to kill me? That was a serious accusation. Emperor Wu turned around and stared at Feng Wu. You, forget it. I don't want you to upset the Empress Dowager. Go in and see Bao Air. Feng Wu nodded at Emperor Wu and went in. Jun Wuxiao was displeased. Father, however, no matter how loud she shouted, Emperor Wu ignored her. The Empress Dowager didn't usually have to put on a show, but now that Emperor Wu was obviously biased toward Feng Wu, she was displeased. Clutching her chest, she asked, Your Majesty, are you trying to upset your mother? Emperor Wu looked alarmed. Mother, what are you talking about? I beg you to live forever. The Empress Dowager took a deep breath and glared at him. He claimed to be a filial son, but when it came to siding with Feng Wu, he didn't hold back at all. I just don't understand what that girl has done to make you so biased. The Empress Dowager pointed at Jun Wuxiao. That's your real daughter. Emperor Wu smiled apologetically. Mother, what are you talking about? Do you think I'll side with her? The Empress Dowager couldn't help but feel helpless when she saw that Emperor Wu smiled obediently, but was still biased toward Feng Wu. Baby Jun had been dazzled by the girl, and now Emperor Wu. That's all I have to say. I just don't like her. The Empress Dowager clenched her fists and said angrily, I just don't like her. I don't like her at all. Your Majesty, do as you see fit. The Empress Dowager didn't beat around the bush with Emperor Wu anymore. She got straight to the point and made her stance clear in front of so many people. Emperor Wu, do as you see fit. If you are as filial as you seem, you would be on the same side as your mother right now. The Empress Dowager wasn't the only one focused on Emperor Wu. Most of the people around them were kneeling on the ground with their heads lowered, but their ears pricked up. She was forcing the emperor to say where he stood. Emperor Wu was put in a difficult position. Mother, the Empress Dowager waved his hand away. I won't argue with you. I've already made my stance clear. I don't approve of her marriage to the crown prince. I don't like her at all. If you insist on her marrying into the royal family, I'll kill myself here. Was it that serious? Emperor Wu frowned. He was displeased too. The Empress Dowager was so angry, but she had no idea how rare Xiao Wu was. Others might not know, but Emperor Wu was the one who received information from the front line. He knew that Feng Wu had gone to Sun Castle alone and done something spectacular. To put it bluntly, if it hadn't been for what Feng Wu had done at Sun Castle, Ness would have been blown up by now. Feng Xiangnan and the others might not even be alive. Chapter 3445. Chapter 3445. Angry Empress Dowager. Chapter 3445. Angry Empress Dowager. And there was Jun Linyuan. If Feng Wu hadn't gone into that dangerous place to get the immortal spiritual fruit, Jun Linyuan might not even be alive right now, let alone make a breakthrough. However, these people, Emperor Wu looked around. Why did they have to ruin Xiao Wu's reputation and drag her down? He was really displeased. He didn't try to coax the Empress Dowager anymore. Instead, he found a seat and sat there sulking. The crowd was speechless. They looked at each other, all a loss. The Empress Dowager was dumbfounded. No matter how she flared up or how unreasonable she was, the Emperor would always comfort her, his mother. But now, he was ignoring her. Was he just going to leave her like this? The Empress Dowager's chest heaved with fury. She felt that Emperor Wu had changed. He didn't care about his mother anymore. Feng Wu must have cast some spell on him. The Empress Dowager was about to explode when Emperor Wu jumped to his feet. I'll go inside and take a look. Since that girl is here, Bao Er might really be saved. After that, Emperor Wu headed for the door. The Empress Dowager flushed with rage. There were so many people here, and Emperor Wu was just going to ignore her, his mother. That was so embarrassing. Didn't he care about her dignity? Your Majesty, the Empress Dowager shouted at Emperor Wu. Bao Er is on her deathbed. Do you have to torture her like this? If Feng Wu can cure Bao Er, I'll serve Feng Wu tea. I can even kneel down to her. Emperor Wu rubbed his forehead. His mother was really furious. How could she say such things? The Empress Dowager smirked. If Feng Wu can't cure Bao Er, I won't forgive her. Emperor Wu didn't want to talk anymore, and he went in without looking back. His mother was becoming less and less like the Empress Dowager. Why was she being so petty with the girl? When the late emperor was still alive, she used to bicker with his concubines, which made sense, but Feng Wu was her grandson's fiancé now. Why should she hold it against her? Emperor Wu suddenly felt a little emotional. Had he been too obedient all these years? It's the Empress Dowager. Your Majesty. Seeing that Emperor Wu was about to leave, the Empress Dowager fell backward. There was no one behind her. Jun Wuxia couldn't believe what she was seeing. How brave of her grandmother to put on such a show. Hua Wushuang reacted quickly. Before Jun Wuxia reacted, she stepped forward to catch the Empress Dowager. But she was too late. Everyone was trying to catch the Empress Dowager, but the capable ones were too far away. The less capable ones were close enough, but they were too slow. Hua Wushuang slipped and fell under the Empress Dowager. Thump! The Empress Dowager collapsed on top of Hua Wushuang. Hua Wushuang groaned. Everyone ran around in panic. It's the Empress Dowager. Your Majesty. What's wrong, Your Majesty? Wake up, Your Majesty. Emperor Wu was about to step into the Golden Palace when he turned around and saw the chaos behind him. He was dumbfounded. After all, she was his mother. Emperor Wu, who had decided not to indulge the Empress Dowager too much, couldn't think about anything else. He ran as fast as he could. Mother! Moving through the crowd, Emperor Wu soon appeared in front of the Empress Dowager. Mother, are you all right? How are you? Where's the Imperial physician? That you're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.